Oh, I guess I should start talking. Hey, so here I am. Still the same scenario I got set up when I played. Oh, yeah, I should write that down. So I played this scenario. It's an I ain't been shot mom scenario from the main rule book. I played it, I believe it was last weekend, with the Restless Kaiser kind of walking me through the rules in Flames of War version 4. Because Curtis had sent me the rules and cards and stuff, so I wanted to use the stuff. So I did. So that was it was enjoyable. We did get a British victory actually. He and I stopped on turn 4, played 5 and 6, and we actually won it. It was pretty crazy last minute over here on this side. I then played, and I thought, well, let me see what it's like in bigger battles. But and that game to me is really kind of platoon level. It seems like to me that maybe I can make it company level. I finagled some stuff and I tried it for a couple turns, and it just was too much. I think it's a little too big for the size, and I had to make too many adjustments. So I changed my mind and said, well, let me try Iron Cross, because that's a game I've played a few times. And so I tried starting Iron Cross, and I was like, man, it didn't work for me. So then I moved to, I was writing them all down before I went live, and then I didn't finish. So what was the other game I tried it with? Iron Cross. Oh, and then I tried Crossfire. And that was last night, and I was up for a while playing that. I didn't video it or anything. I'm glad I didn't. And I was like, yeah, not working for me, bro. Now, so here I am, but I feel like I've skipped one. Bigger Battles, Iron Cross, Crossfire. What's another company level game? What am I forgetting? Man, I swear I did something else. Oh, I ain't been shot, Mom. I actually went with the rules that it was designed for, and I tried that for a little bit. But that didn't really work out for me either. So now here I am back to Blitzkrieg Commander. I have 2 more sets of rules I could use it for, and actually 3. I thought about doing it for Battle Group, but really for Battle Group, I need to again go back to here's a little bit of the challenge I'm having. So Flames of War is cool. I mean, it's fine, but it goes in teams. So 2 stands is a squad generally, and that's fine, but I don't really want to play company level in man to man, where each man represents a man. I don't mind each tank representing a tank, because you're not going to have that many typically. In a Flames War game, you will, but often. But if I'm doing company level, meaning each stand is a squad, that's just a mindset I've got, and I'm kind of sticking with. So there are 3 other games I could try. I could try Micro Armor Squad, the game. Yes, it's designed for Micro Armor, but whatever. You might have to adjust the measurements. There's also Mein Panzer, which is designed for 6 mil, but they have 15 mil conversions. But it's both those games are, well, Mein Panzer is super chart heavy, and I don't think I'm going to really want to get into that. And then you've got, I just don't think I'm going to do GHQ chart. I mean, game. It's just got too many little markers and stuff. I'm not sure that's going to be my jam, as it were. And then I could do, did I say this yet? I could do Battle Group. So, but again, Battle Group, you really need 1-to-1 guys. And I pretty much determined if I'm going to do 1-to-1 guys, like every guy is a guy, I'm going to go platoon level, like bolt action, chain of command, Battle Group. I like Battle Group at that level, though you do run the risk of Battle Group of when it's that small, you get your battle ratings real quick. So my thing with playing company level is I don't want to keep track of the number of guys in the stands. I think that's my thing. And with I Ain't Been Shot Mom and I Ain't Been Shot Mom and Battle Group, you kind of have to do that because each guy is a guy. So if I'm playing base like this, I got to keep track of how many guys I got because it affects how you're shooting and things. I just don't think I want to hassle with that at this scale of game. Some of the scenarios I want to play are a little bigger, and I have 9 squads plus the tanks plus the guys here. When you're playing, so a lot of this is about basing it around solo play, right? So all these games I've mentioned, and Iron Cross, that game goes by elements. So you hit it, and there's some statuses, and then you're gone. So that fits my criteria there about being elements, but not. I think I've come to the conclusion that there's just something not there for me. it's not quite syncing up. I'd say that's the only game I'm kind of like, man, I just don't think it's my thing. And it's a fine game, and I enjoyed my 7 Days to River Rhine thing I went through the other day, which is essentially the same game. And then Flames of War. Now, I did think about, I'm trying to play the game's rules as written, even though I'm about to do Blitzkrieg Commander at a slightly different scale, but I've played it so often that I feel I'm fine doing that. But I've been trying to play the game's rules as written. So, like, I could do Flames of War where this stand is a squad, and they basically get 2 hits, you know. And instead of having rate of fire 1, as though it's a team, I could just pretend it's a 2 stands and it's got 2 rate of fire, or whatever the rate of fire is. Just double the rate of fire that's listed in the book, and then half that when they get a hit. So, like, when you normally pull a table or pull a stand out, you just, you know, put a marker here at the end. So I'm fine doing that. Now I say all that, and here I am going to Blitzkrieg Commander where I'm going to keep track of hits on these units, like 5 to 6 per thing. And some of this just may be because the scenario I'm going to say is designed well because it's a 9-bin Shotman or it's a 2 Fat Large product, and I'm confident in their ability to design good scenarios. It's probably my poor tactics and stuff. It may just be this isn't syncing up for me, this particular scenario. I mean, it was hard when Restless Kaiser and I did Flames of War. It was very frustrating. I mean, I was hitting jack crap as the British roll and roll and roll. I mean, you guys dug in and trench it and then foxholes. It's tough. And in Crossfire, what I was finding I was doing, I was just like a tank would fire, fail, and then these guys would get. I mean, I was just going back and forth. And at some point, I was like, this game is never going to end. So I set a timer, and then I was like, I'm done with that. I'm not really going to mess with that. I'm a combined arms guy. All that to say, let's try Blitzkrieg Commander. I think it's going to be tough. And I may just, who knows, maybe I just end up wiping out this scenario and then just cleaning it up and trying something new, you know. And sometimes you get kind of getting these funks and rolls. So this scenario so far, as is, the British have lost 4 stands in the commander, but it's okay, and a commander. The Germans have lost 2 stands, one here. Wow, I am pretty sure they lost 2 stands. So maybe it's just 1 stand. Huh. Yeah, because they had 3 over here. Commander. Excuse me, they had 3 over there. There's a forward observer. Okay. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, they've lost 1. The Germans can only lose 5. The British can lose 10. So they got 6 more to lose. The Germans have 4 more to lose before they hit their breakpoint. That doesn't even sound right. The Germans do have another thing. I'm going to go for like 6 turns here. I don't know if I'm going to play it all out live, but I'm going to say the scenario is going to go 6 more turns. We'll see if we can take the Germans out of these buildings. I think that's going to be really hard to do because they're in there. We are stuck over here trying to clear this one building out, and then I need to sweep across that way. So we'll see if that really happens or not. And so my last thing, I'm going to play this. So normally you run in centimeters, which when I'm playing platoon level, I'm cool with. Hey, thanks, Tony's Board Life. I appreciate it. Some guys aren't even guys. You're right. Modeling for Advantage, Tony's Board Life, 2 great channels there, guys. Thanks for jumping on. And thanks for giving me the views and the thumbs up. I appreciate that. So normally you play in centimeters. So like these units can usually move 10 centimeters, which is like right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this in inches since I'm playing company scale. So the range usually is 30 centimeters. So like when firing, and I don't want to do that as platoon level because then this is a platoon and you kind of zoom the scale down. So them firing this far, even that looks far, but that's pretty good. So instead the firing ranges are going to be 30 inches. Because what I like about Crossfire, Iron Cross, and even Shotgun, there's no range limits. Now you do have limits where you're effective and not, your shots are effective and really effective and not effective. That's cool, but you can shoot all the way across the board because really at the scale you could. So like these guys can reach these guys, and that's over there. These guys can reach the whole board. They're 60 inches. So the firing ranges I'm going to leave as centimeter. I'm going to use the same number as in centimeters. So 30 inches, 30 centimeters becomes 30 inches. But moving and initiative are all going to go half of what they say. So moving is normally 10, And remember, so that's 10. That's really 25 centimeters. But remember, you get to move multiple times. So the moving I want to keep about the same, but the firing ranges are longer. We'll see how it goes. This is the first time I've done this like this. I've always thought it was weird that you could play at company and platoon and everything stays the same. To me, kind of realistic. That's a lot of babbling. Let's get to rolling here. I'm going to say it's turn, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, this is turn 7, we'll say. I probably need to mark that off on something. Johnny, what are you going to be playing? I think I saw some, if you're still on. What have you been playing there? So turn 7. Yeah. What's a guy not a guy? What if a guy's not a guy? You know, so if it's a platoon, there's 30 guys in there. If it's a squad, there's 10 to 12. Okay, let's say British are going first. So it's initiative. So that's something else that's squinched down. It's not going to be 20 inches for initiative. It's going to be 10 inches for initiative. So there's a lot of initiative fire available here for peoples. Not for them. Not for any of those guys. This guy needs to hustle off and get over here. These guys could fire on him. Now I do need to see how I want to look see through woods. Another thing is like what you can see. So I think I will stick with that for ranges for spotting and stuff. So it's 5 inches, and you can't move within 5 inches. This is what another unit is probably good. There's 2.5 or 3s right there. Maybe we can say 3. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. So normally you can't get within 5 centimeters of another unit. Let me make a note here. Move initiative is half. Spotting, firing, spotting, same. 1 inch equals 1 centimeter. And can't move within. I mean, it's nice to just keep the numbers the same, you know. It's a lot easier than half them, so we'll see how that works out. I would say that almost doesn't count if they're in like a building, because you could have buildings close to each other. You're not going to get within 5. You have to. I think if you're within cover, you can get within there. But if you're out here in the open, because think about it, that's very close. I mean, I know the scales don't match. Okay, so these guys definitely have initiative. Oh yeah, spotting in tree. I'm trying to think of what the distances are there. Area terrain. Hey, modeling for advantage. Don't get crazy there. Hey, what's up, Chris Arnold? Well, I know, but for Blitzkrieg Commander. I know, I'm a hypocrite, modeling for advantage. I know that's Restless Kaiser there. If I were playing you, though, I'd play rules as written. I swear. You know, modeling for advantage, I would be interested in having you talk with board gamer guy. I've talked about this before. Board gamer guy Kev from Big Board Gaming, who he talks about. He goes, "Man, why do you miniature guys change the rules?" And I should have him talk to you, where you could be on his side. Like, yeah, we don't change rules. Some of us purists don't change rules. Bear with me just one moment, please, everyone. Man, some of the things have been acting really strange lately on the computer. 4 months down. Typing in Facebook Messenger while this is going on, it's all like stuttery and really slow. I'm doing all I can to get my computer cleaned up. So anyway, Molly, for advantage, it'd be interesting to know you talk with Kev, because he's like that. And trust me, I'd like to play rules right. I just can't. I'm just addicted to changing them. All right, high area terrain. Oh, what do we have here? What's up, buddy?
Howdy, howdy.
Everybody, it's not Jay, sometimes known as, someone else, but not Jay from Rocky's War Room. He just put on a game tonight at Recruits, which is a Kansas City area-based war game convention that went virtual, of course, like everything else has. And I played What a Tanker by Two Fat Lardies. So tell us how they go.
It went really well. We had people from all over, literally. We had one player from Northern Virginia, 2 players from the Kansas City area, a player from outside of Toronto, a player in Saskatchewan, and a player out of Arizona.
Oh, cool.
So literally got to be able to play with people that we probably would have never been able to play with prior to this happening. So it's you have to look at the good with the bad.
Okay.
Look for silver linings with everything that's going on this year, and we're expanding our gaming abilities by being able to do live play games remotely.
Yeah, and would you say that generally Recruits is pretty Midwest localized people that usually attend it?
Yeah, it draws heavily, of course, from Missouri and Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma,
Okay.
Arkansas, even. But that's really it. We do from time to time, get people coming in from Colorado or, well, of course, my brother and I from Illinois.
Sure. So
and some of our gaming buddies, but yeah, generally speaking, it is a Midwest. It's definitely a regional convention, but it's a big regional convention.
Yeah. So everybody, Recruits is held in a high school, actually, not Jay's former high school where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like $5 a ticket, and if you're a student, it's free. And it's started by, I don't know if it's started, but sponsored by a teacher there, right?
Yeah, it was started by Dwayne Fleck, a history teacher. He became a teacher there, I think, a year after my brother graduated, a year or two after he graduated, and then which was 5 or 6 years after I graduated. Going on about 30 years ago now.
Gotcha.
And he, his history students would ask him, "Well, what'd you do over the weekend, Mr. Fleck?" And he'd tell them that he would, would play games or whatever, and they would pestered him over and over again about, when are you going to show us these games? When are you going to show us these games? And he finally started bringing them in and showing them. And they said, "Well, when do we get to play?" And he reached out to his gaming buddies and said, "Hey, would you want to come into the school and do a game day for my students on a Saturday?" And they said, of course, "Yeah, that'd be great." And it grew from there. Get out of there, you silly cat! Stop eating my ice cream. And then it just became a Saturday game day, and then he extended that. Well, the tables are already set up and people are coming in from out of town. Well, let's go ahead and open it up for Sunday. And then he said, well, we've got all these games set up, or all the tables set up for people to come in and play. Well, let's go ahead and open up Friday night. And so now, as soon as school is out that Friday, about an hour later, they open the doors up for the convention.
Cool.
So they get each gaming session is only 3 hours. But you get 2 gaming sessions on Friday night, 4 game sessions Saturday, and technically 2 game sessions on Sunday.
Cool.
And yeah, it's $5 to get in. There's wonderful vendors there. Because, well, to have a table is only $5 per table. So a vendor can come in, drop $20, and he's got 4 tables, which is, all that most of them do. Now, Warlord comes in and normally puts up a big chunk of the vendor area.
Yeah. John.
And yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And then a lot of the local game stores. Kansas City is a hotbed of miniature gaming for some reason. I don't know what it is, but one of the game stores there, Tabletop Game and Hobby, which is my absolute favorite game store ever.
Overland Park?
In Overland Park. They've been going strong for 20 plus years.
I stop by there as often as I can when I'm going to Wichita or something on my way to see my mom. I try to stop by there.
Well, they are in their 4th location at this point, and they are in the middle of a remodel of their game room to not only provide open gaming space, but also rooms for that you can.
Check out.
You can say, hey, I want to reserve this room, primarily for
role playing.
Yes, thank you, role playing games.
No problem.
But you can use them for you can use it for whatever, and it literally is. If you can think it, they probably have it game wise, both miniatures games and board games. They've probably got the widest selection of board games I have seen anywhere. Everything from Carcassonne and Settlers of Catan up to some of the bigger, fancier stuff like what's the one Twilight Imperium. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
And everything in between. And then, of course, miniatures. Yeah, they do focus heavily on Games Workshop, but, it's the 800-pound gorilla.
Yep. So everybody knows, first of all, that store is where I saw War Master Ancients, right? And, being a Blitzkrieg commander guy, I've always kind of wanted to get a War Master book because it's just kind of that's where it came from. It's mom and dad, so to speak, or cousin, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so I saw War Master Ancients there, and I was like, yeah, that I should get that. That'd be cool. It'd be fun to get it. Because at that time, I didn't even have War Master. And I was like, well, no, I'll get it someday. Yeah. Almost that, next couple weeks, they shut down the specialist stuff. And I remember they had it, and I couldn't find. And from that day on, I could never. It's stupid expensive now, $100 or $200 for a book, and I'm like, curse me for not buying. It taught me a lesson. If I really want a book, you never know. But that's a good store. Anyway, I watched Jay Wiley play a couple of his games, just a few little bits and pieces of them. So Jay Wiley, who of Wiley Games, who does Fistful of Lead, he's a big supporter of the show because he's from the area, and his games are really good convention games. And he was putting on it's kind of cool, the the Battle for COVID Prime or something, but it was a 3-part series of games where they had a spaceship battle in the very first in the morning, and that affected what air support the second game had, and then that second game affected the third game, which had then some. It was all Star Wars it was Star Wars based, and then they had tanks in the last one. But what was cool I think I just heard this part of the second one live. But like Thomas Foss from California, pretty much he had a West Coast group. He had 2 Californians and then a West Canadian guy, and then a local guy there playing with him. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool because Thomas Foss or whoever, a lot of those people probably wouldn't go to recruits normally, right? And it's like you were talking about Saskatchewan. I mean, they're not going to go to recruits. Yeah. It's more of a regional gaming thing. But now they know about it, so you never know. Maybe they'll make their way to Kansas City sometime and playing it. Yep. So I think in some ways these virtual things are good. It sounds like the turnout was probably not as good as maybe guys might have liked, but it's kind of the vibe I was getting from one of the conversations. But I don't know. I mean, you guys think you had a good group, so.
Well, we had a full slate. We had 6 slots for players. We had 3 that we had never that we didn't know from Adam. Literally, the 2 guys from Canada and the 1 guy from Northern Virginia. We had the 2 from Kansas City are from our gaming group from when Jay and I lived in Kansas City, and then 1 from Arizona being Minnie Warmutt.
Oh well, he doesn't count.
But he is hooked on the game. He's played twice now, and he is hooked.
Sounds like he likes it. So the question, Molly for Advantage, who's Restless Kaiser out of England there, who played Flames of War with me last week, was nice enough to teach me some of that. He said on the thing here, goes, maybe you'd like us to teach him what a tanker. So maybe what we could do is so we'll just do a similar thing that you and Jay just did, and put it here or have you guys run it or something. And because I mean it's very easy modeling for Advantage. It's going to be like the same level as so he's played tanks on his channel because he's playing more of those games, and I'm like it's the same level, but it's cool. So yeah, we could easily run that. You could maybe even get Johnny B on there, one of his other co-hosts, and yeah, we'd love to do that because. And the cool thing is you can play on a table this big, but I think we played on 4x6 on their game, and you can get the game done pretty quick too. So,
yeah, we played to a decisive end of the game in 6 turns, and that 6 turns we started right at 6 o'clock, and we were done by 8:15.
Yeah, you guys were done earlier than I thought you would have been. I was going to pop on just kind of here, but you guys were done before about the time I was done with dinner. So
yeah,
so that's cool. All right, so like I said, I don't know if you heard if you were on here when I was just I'm doing this. So this is a scenario that I played with Restless Kaiser in Flames of War, and then I've now gone through. I have churned through Fistful of Bigger Battles. I should have waited to have my little talk before you got. Should have waited for after you got on. But anyway, Bigger Battles. But I think it's a little big for Bigger Battles because it's a company versus a company. And, I told you I was going to convert some stuff and I was like, it was too much conversion.
Yeah.
For me, doing a solo. It might be different if, we were playing face-to-face and kind of working on it together. But Iron Cross, Crossfire, I ain't been shot, Mom. I've tried all those games, rules with this scenario in the last 5 days. and I'm keep going, it's not working for me. Not that the rules are bad. Just that they're not working for me at the moment with this scenario with solo play. I think that's pretty important. Some games just aren't quite as suited for a solo play, especially when you're looking for simple. Right. So here I am, Blitzkrieg Commander, my old standby, and as I was on my little rant or whatever, I was going to try. I'm trying to play them all rules as written, except for Blitzkrieg Commander. I'm making a few changes, and Modeling for Advantage is kind of getting after me about that. I'm converting my moving ranges. I'm converting it to inches instead of centimeters because it's company level, not battalion level. So these are squads, not platoons. So I thought extend the range out because you're zoomed in a little bit. So
Yeah, it
But let
also
me,
makes sense running with 15 millimeter and inches. It just, I don't know, 15 millimeter and inches at a platoon level feels better than centimeters because I like to run a Cold War commander, which is a cousin.
yeah,
I like to run that in 6 mil using the centimeters.
right. And that's how I've played it forever. And I have played Blitzkrieg Commander with 15 mil when each stands as a platoon in centimeters, and it feels fine. And a lot of guys do that. They play in a lot of scale. So, but in this, I want to do that. But I did want to ask you, not Jay, because I don't really know this. Do you often change rule? Do you house rule a lot with miniature games you play, or do you pretty much play what you play, rules as written?
Well, so for instance, like what a tanker tonight, we house ruled how activation works. Because it would be difficult really how it's supposed to work is everybody rolls a 6-sided die. Person with the high die goes first. If you've got ties, you re-roll. Well, in a convention setting, and that's great if you're just got 4 or 5 buddies around the table, and everybody knows the rules real well, et cetera, and so forth. That's great, and it's easy to figure out who goes what. But when you're remote and everybody is literally strewn across the globe, we decided to just take 6 cards, 1 for each player, ace through 6, and deal them out. And first turn, I had the what a tanker has a dashboard for each tank, and I had the dashboard for all 6 vehicles there.
Yeah.
With the name of the player. And the very first turn was the farthest tank on the left, and that's who got the first card. The second turn was the next player over. So it wasn't the same order that the cards got dealt in. Each player got a chance to be the first one to receive a card.
Right. Yeah.
And I would shuffle it up each time. So, but otherwise, we play rules as written. And in a lot of cases, I don't like house ruling a lot of things unless I absolutely don't like how a particular rule plays, or it just doesn't work for the type of play that we're doing.
This might actually be. This might be an interesting topic for Walkie's War Room sometime.
Yeah. I think for not view from the war room, but thoughts from the war room, like we just had tonight.
Yeah, it might be a better one for that. Yeah. I'm just curious because like I told you, I've had a board game who kind of just like flips out because you don't do that in board games. We've talked about this before, but here I do. But I know Wallingford Advantage, like he says in here, he's mentioned, he goes, he doesn't change rules that much because it's not that big a deal to him. He'll house rule maybe some mission rules, like to fit the narrative a little better, because he's not really a tournament player, So like us, we're not tournament players, so we want to tell the story narrative. So you might tweak some things, but that's different. I think that's more scenario driven. And I think changing those rules is a little. You kind of almost have to. Yeah. It depends on the board and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But the only time I really, really wanted to change or house rule something was in General Quarters 1 and General Quarters 2, which I find interesting. General Quarters 2 is nothing more than the World War I version of General Quarters. It wasn't a redo or anything like that. It was just literally, all right, General Quarters 1, here's all the information about World War II. Oh, you want rules for World War I? Here's a whole other book that is for World War I, and we're going to call it General Quarters 2.
Great. Well,
then they came out with General Quarters 3 that's got everything. But the very first time, it didn't have the granularity that I wanted or my best friend Chris Copeland wanted. And so we immediately started changing how the rules were to be played, to the point where my at the time wife said, well, why don't y'all just write your own rules if you're going to change it that much? So we literally pitched the book across the room, broke out a pad and paper and said, okay, so where do we want to start? And it was, well, what's the most important thing? Moving. Okay. And my buddy Copeland is a huge math nerd. And we figured out, okay, if we make the time, the table scale X and the time for each turn be Y, and he figured out, he had this equation that literally took up an entire sheet of paper, not full, but, a row. The equation was about 8 inches long, and he figured it out and did like said, okay, so what type of calculus are we going to have to do to figure out how fast a ship is going based off of reality? So like the USS Texas can do 21 knots. He said, divide the knots you want the ship to move in inches. Divide to come up with, movement in inches. You're going to divide real world knots by 2.
Wow,
okay. And then what? He said, that's it. Because we chose the table scale to be X and the time of each turn to be Y, it works out that it's going to be that. Take your knots, divide by 2. That's how many inches you move in a turn, or can move in a turn. That's your top speed. And I always ask game writers, what was your aha moment? What was the point in the creation of the game that you sat down and you figured out something and you said, aha, that's the hook. That's what's going to make this game really work well, or I know that it's going to, end up being a good game. What's that aha moment? And that was our aha moment. Right off the bat, I knew we were going to have something cool when we did that. So
awesome.
And so, going on 25 plus years later, I still, haven't done anything with the rules other than, put them out to play on at a couple of conventions. I've been thinking about conceivably thinking about diving back into them and seeing what I can do with them, but I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome. Looks like Mike for Advantage has played General Quarters a lot in the day.
Yep.
And then he says GQ2 is for big battles, though, as you say, so no granularity and therefore really quite dicey. According to him. I've never played GQ3 here locally. And
GQ3 is a good game. I've played it quite a bit when I lived down in Austin. It's a fun game. It's a little more granular, but still not as It does allow you to play lots of ships. Whenever we played in Austin, we got we'd have 15, 20 ships aside. Each player controlling anywhere between 3 and 4 ships each. So, okay. Yeah. But the rules that I've come up with, or that my buddy Copeland and I have come up with, we can easily do 3 or 4 ships aside and still come up, within a 4-hour game period, come up with a pretty decisive resolution. So,
Yeah. Well, I guess
and
that
still
would be
be pretty granular.
Well, that'd be the question we'd want to probably discuss on that show. I mean, I don't get quite the viewer, so it's not like we're exhausting the topic. But I guess at some point, if you start house ruling so much, it's like maybe you should make your own game, or maybe that's what it becomes. We got a couple guys here who've really tweaked and worked on bolt action and put reaction for Colt. I almost said Colt 47. You know that beer, Colt 47.
Yeah.
Anyway, that famous miniature game, Colt 47. Anyway, they, just adapting from Conflict 47. Anyway, so much so that it's almost, to me, almost like it's a different game. So,
yeah.
And so in some ways, it's like, well, that's kind of the way it was when, from my understanding, from back in the day before I was into miniature wargaming, pretty much almost everyone wrote their own rules in a lot of places, right? There were 2 or 3 kind of standards, but for the most part, the Texas guys would make up some rules for World War II, and the Missouri guys would make, because they weren't out there.
Yeah.
So you just kind of made up and you mimeographed them, and then as printing got better and whatever. But it could be an interesting. But I kind of agree with Restless. It almost. That's why I'm like, I should just play these as written, because I don't really want to get into rule writing. That's not really my thing. So I'd rather just sit down.
Like I say, I'm not a huge changer of rules, as it were. I do pretty much play them as written. But I mean, there's never a time that I'm not thinking about changing something up.
Right.
How would I have done it differently? Or taking a set of rules and using them for something that they weren't originally intended for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I guess that's kind of the point. It's like, maybe you're looking for something different.
So for instance,
go ahead.
So, for instance, with What a Tanker, we have contemplated doing giant stompy robots using the same game mechanic. Call it What a Clanker.
Yeah, awesome.
And do mechs with it, or Fistful of Lead Starfighters, which is the game Jay Wiley put out for Fistful of Lead to use all of his X-Wing miniatures. Not saying X-Wing isn't a good game, it's just when you want to play 50 ships, 50 starfighters on the table at one time, a game like Star Wars X-Wing miniatures is going to take forever.
Yeah, right.
But with Fistful of Lead, one of the play tests he ran, he literally had 52 ships on the table, had about 8 or 10 players, and with each player having like 5 ships, they were able to complete the game in about 2.5 hours.
Right. So,
and Mr. Beckus is here. Welcome, Mr. Beckus.
What's up, sir? I guess kind of doing 2 things here at once. Well, so he's doing what we just said. He's like, well, I don't really like X-Wing. I've got my own rules here, so I'm just going to make my rules up to play this game I want to play.
Yeah.
Instead of playing about X-Wing, he's like, hey, this is the way I want to do it. So just.
Yeah, and so what I've done is I've taken the reins with Starfighter and am converting it to use Korean and Vietnam era jet fighters, because I really like that time period. And although I like check your six, again, because of how the rules play, check your six is really crunchy. Really, it has a high level of granularity, and I love it. But I can only each player can really only control 2, maybe 3 aircraft tops, and I can't get that really big feel of a mass like a mass bomber raid on downtown Saigon with A6s with F4s flying cover, having to deal with getting shot at not only by anti-aircraft but also MiG-21s and MiG-19s flying around.
Right. Oh. Well, Paul Beckus, he said he was going to join in. He was just watching the Rockies War Room ramble. It wasn't a ramble, but the thoughts from the War Room that we just did. He said he was going to pop in here after going to the store. So thanks for popping on, Paul. Playing a little Blitzkrieg Commander while we ramble about rules. So I guess it's kind of a wardrobe ramble about rules. I'm having a lot of luck rolling here. I am destroying these Germans over here. Usually it's impossible to dig these guys out, but I'm rolling a lot of 6s. So do you have any desire?
Thing if you're Americans.
No, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I think I said American. These are Canadians. So pardon me for the Canadians.
Well, Canadians are still Americans. They are on the American continent.
Yes, this is true. Do you have any desire to control any of the forces, or do you just want to sit here and ramble with me?
I'll just ramble with you.
All right. I got to make sure I ask because I don't need Matt coming on here saying I wasn't letting you play, right? I mean, I don't want to get in trouble.
Matt should either A, be in bed or B, hanging out with his family. So
at the fire pit. Yeah. So
he can go get sponsored.
Watching now, Todd. Thank you. Cool. Always good to have you. Oh. Yeah. Let me see what I can do here. And that's all you're going to say is good day? So we did this before, and you can kind of hear him talking through. But at least we can talk to him, sort of. All right, Discord.
Somewhat.
How did I do that last time, Paul? Did I send you as I closed all the windows I had open, looking at landing craft, like gaming models, and pardon me, everybody, while I go to Discord here. I can't remember, did I send you the link to StreamYard? I thought I did. Oh, I have Discord on here. What am I doing? Pardon me, everyone, while I put this up. And because I just watched Ashley react to that, so that was fun. Okay, Discord, there it is. Pardon me, everyone. Downloading update 1.1. While we're waiting for that to happen, so I'll try to make that happen, Paul. So let's roll another command. I think the Canadians should keep laying waste. They're going to get activated on a 6. So the commander's over here. The initiative range I've kept at what did I say about initiative? Oh, I did say I was going to do that.
That's need a 6 or less, correct?
Yeah. So
on 2d6.
My command value is 8, and I already done it, so it's down to 7. But these guys also did an initiative action, so that takes 1 off their CV. So I have to roll a 6 or less. But I just noticed in my little rule change, let's call it an adaptation. I said the initiative range, so normally it's 20 centimeters, and I thought, well, 20 inches seems like a long way for you to be in command. I mean, that's like half my table. But it is tanks. But anyway, we won't worry about that. So it's going to be 10 inches. So I need to, and one of the tanks is, he's outside. So it's going to be another minus. So it's 5 or less. Because it's only one range band outside of that.
Right.
But I rolled a 9. Wah, wah. They're done. All right, let me see if Discord's come up here. What's new? No, I don't really care right now. Thank you.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So do we just chat here? Let's see what happens here. What's up, sir?
Hello.
Sir, what's up? We got you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're coming in somewhat crackly.
How's that?
Yeah, it's better for me. I don't know if the people on the other side will be able to hear you, but I can hear you and I can translate what they're saying. Or translate to them translate. I'll translate from your crazy language to U.S. American.
America.
We got Paul on here. We got not Jay/Chris on here. Can you hear him, Chris?
A little, yeah.
I'll turn it up a little bit.
Let's say it's good enough.
Okay, I just want to get feedback from the other one. How's it going, Paul? What are you doing on this? How is Sunday? Chris and I are really worried about how Sunday's looking. We want it to be a good day.
Yeah, it's started off lovely. Getting clouds, nothing down. Yeah, good.
Cool.
Man, it sounds like he's on the other side of the world.
I know, isn't that weird? Oh, you slay me.
God.
What? Here, I'm going to try something here real quick. The only thing I'm concerned a little bit about is getting feedback when Chris talks here. So, I'll try to move a little
100,000
closer.
comedians out of a job, and I'm looking to be funny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how hard can it be?
Something important happens, I'll talk.
Well, let me just ask you real quick, and then then you can pipe in. But what games are you playing right now? What are you painting for? What's your gaming life like right now?
I'm not going anything at the moment. Because I haven't really been out much, to be honest with you.
Oh, true.
But I've been painting some Flames of War red carriers, and I just realised I threw all the by accident, I threw all the red guns out that I meant to put on them.
Oh no!
So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, I've been I don't know if you've been seeing Paul, but I've been putting together all these World War III models, and I've just been pretty much saving anything that I'm not using because they do give you some little extras or anything else that maybe I either don't want to fiddle with or something. I just put them all in little plastic bags. I'm like, I never know when those things might come in handy sometimes. So
Yeah, I actually painted these up. I've got a feeling I hate clean my desk.
oh man.
I've got a feeling I chucked it when I was sort of throwing stuff out.
Well, that sucks even more that you painted them. So do you play Flames of War much, or are you just painting up the models for other games?
I haven't played it. I haven't played it in a while. I haven't done really any gaming at all this year, mate.
Well, sure, just because of you guys still because of lockdown stuff, I assume.
No, we're free. We've been free for a long time.
Yeah, I thought.
We just haven't sort of got back into it,
Yeah.
Break sort of knocked you out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's done that to a lot of people, just kind of some of the enthusiasm for it. So, you've done any World War I gaming? That's kind of what you were looking at last time we chatted.
No, that's the goal. Start playing that Blood Valor. I still haven't finished my command team. I've been looking at it for about a month.
Well, maybe if you look at them long enough, they'll paint themselves. I don't know. That's what I do, and it doesn't ever work for me. But maybe it does. Maybe it works just the opposite down there, like the toilets.
That toilet thing's
Dang it!
It just goes straight. There's no whirling. It just goes straight. I don't know whirling toilets. I don't know what the hell that is.
My dreams are dashed. Well, maybe not the toilets, maybe just the drains. We'll do a big scientific study on that sometime. All right. Well, yeah, you just pipe in. You want to say anything? All right. So we got the Canadians, their turn up. These guys have also done initiative, so they're down 1. Their command value is also 8. Just regular old Canadians. I think they want them to fire in here, but I want to fire the mortar first. So let's roll. You're going to fire. It's just I'm down to 2 squads. That's the head commander, the CO over there. So I need a 7 or less. And in good commander fashion, I rolled a 9. So, yep, the flippin' do. Okay. These guys haven't done anything. So they're going to be an 8 when they start. So what can they see and what can they do? So he can see over there. I don't think those guys can see him. So in Blitzkrieg Commander, this hedgerow, it's not bocage, it's hedges, but they block line of sight until you're up against them. I know some games they say when you're within like 2 inches or something, but that's a hassle. I don't want to mess with that. So there I am. So anyway, I think these guys are suppressed, so they can't do any firing anyway. So I think I will move them across the wall and get them up to this wall. So let's do that. And so to do that, we'll fire the mortar first, and then they'll move. So either 8 or less. Oh, yay, 9. It's going well. So Chris has played some Cold War Commander, so he understands all this.
Yep.
All right, let's command this unit over here. I'm down to 2 tanks, the commander and the. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you play at this level, so normally your commanders are abstract. But I thought So your commanders usually abstract. They don't do anything but command, and if they're attacked, they do have a close assault value, but they can't. You don't even really fire on them unless they're hit by artillery. But I have a tank here with a commander in it, and in the I Ain't Been Shot Mom scenario, that's a tank. So it's actually firepower for you. But in this game, it would be like, nope, that's just a commander. And I wonder if I should do it that way at this level. I probably should. So that would get rid of some of my firing I did in the last turn. Though in version 4, they do, well, actually, they did this in 3 as well. You can use the commander as a regular unit. But what's interesting to me is that if you play Blitzkrieg Commander and you say that this commander is actually a firing unit, I know what I want to do with these guys. I want to fire on that freaking Pack 40 that took out 2 of their buddies. If you have a commander as a unit that I can actually use something, it has to move first. And that's never made sense to me. Like your commander's going to go out front and get, shot up with opportunity fire and all that stuff. I'm like, why would you? I don't really know why they do that. That's one of those rules I'm kind of like, that to me is almost a house rule. Because I'm like, that just doesn't even make sense to me. What they're trying to simulate there. There's Thorofol. I'm going to butcher that up. But sir, hey all. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us. And let me see something here real quick. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take that tank out. He can't fire. So they are going to command them because I do want to take out this Pack 40 over here that has caused much problems for these guys earlier on when I was playing offline. So guess what? They're 8, so I rolled a 7, so we're good. Yes. I actually get to do something. Now, that guy is going to fire on this Pack 40 that is, in a gun pit. So it's going to take a 6 to hit, and it saves on 6s. So their range is 60 inches. Woo, baby. So 30 inches. Oh, I'm going to double up the dice. So it's not double up the dice. So it's going to be 4 dice. Come on, baby. I got a 6. Save on a 6. He does not save. If I roll another 6, I can suppress that unit, which would be awesome. Oh, I rolled a 6. Holy cow, man. The rolling is going fantastic. I can't imagine how many hits can that Pack 40 take. 4 hits. So I do have a copy of Cold War Commander, so I can use these World War III tanks for that, Chris.
Yep.
I know 15 mil is not great for Cold War, but
If you do it like platoon level, where you literally each tank is literally its own vehicle, and you don't go bigger than about a platoon of Americans versus a company of Soviets.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to go bigger than that.
All right, so that unit is now suppressed, so that's pretty cool. So I should probably I'm gonna do that again. That was good. So all right, now so I need 7, so now I need a 6 because his initiative is down because he shot initiative. So I need a 6 or less. I rolled an 8. Well, that's cool. I suppressed a unit. That's pretty awesome. That's in dug in position. So now, everybody, if you don't know, so I had 2 units fail and they didn't get to activate, these 2 infantry units. So this overall commander can try to command them. It's going to be a -1 because he's not their original fixed formation command, and it's also these guys did initiative. So I could do this one of 2 ways, and I'm never quite sure how to do this. And Chris, if you remember in your Cold War Commander days, I'd be interested how you do it. But his command value is 9 because he's the overall company commander. They're just regular troops. The Germans are SS, so they do have. Well, actually, I thought they had some advantages like in close combat, but I didn't see it in there. So right now, I don't have them in anything different with them. So I can either try to command all the units together, in which case these guys who have no penalties from initiative firing will suffer under that -1, or I try to command these guys and then these guys. But if this fails, then I can't command anybody. So normally how I play it, Chris, is I just try to command everybody. I'm like, I'm just going to use one roll for them all. Now, if I fail, I command them all. So how would you do that if you were playing? Correctly, or did I go too fast?
I always would do it. Well, whenever I played Cold War Commander, I always played Americans.
Okay.
And I always had a leader for, and again, I was playing at, I think we pushed it up to where we were playing battalion level, where we had a battalion commander, and then we had a company commander for each company because.
Well, that's normally how you play it.
So you're bounced down. So now, do you have platoon leaders that roll their own initiative?
I do, but they both failed them in the turn. They both rolled like 9.
Okay, yeah. Because I always activated or attempted to activate them first, and that way, if they failed, I could use my battalion commander or whatever level commander. And he would then, depending on what I was facing, I would either have him say, okay, everybody's going to do the same thing, or I'm going to leave that side alone and only focus on this side, and push and not push that level down.
Yeah, well, and actually, this my same question actually pertains to when you're commanding, like you said, at your level company, or in my case, platoon. You still can do the same thing. I can command this one stand with all my rolls until I decide to stop, and then I can command the next stand. But I always commanded the whole platoon because I'm always afraid if I fail this one on my first roll, I guess it matters. Yeah, once you fail, you can't go anymore. So it's like I'm just going to try them all at one time. I've never really played where I command him to do this, and then I make a bunch of rolls and do that. I don't know. It just seems more risky. I don't know why that. It's probably, I don't know if my thinking's right on that. But anyway, offers a lot of flexibility. I'll just command them all at once. I think these guys don't have to get one more hit on this guy, and he's done. So maybe I just will command these guys to move up. I'll risk taking a shot from this guy, but I'll take that chance. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm changing my mind as we go. These guys are going to be activated to move over here and fire at these guys. But when they move, can he actually see them without moving? He can. But these guys can't. So we're going to have these guys fire, these guys move. So I need an 8, 7 or less. Ooh, 5. Sweet. So I'm down to 8. So I always use a D10 to keep track of my command value where I am. So I have it on an 8. So I remember I used 1. So now my next command value is an 8, modified by all the things. So this guy is going to fire on him using 6 dice, I think. Nope. Yeah, 5 dice. So 5 dice, hitting on 6s, save on 6s. 1 hit with the green die, save on saved it. All right, well, these guys are moving. They're moving out. Oh, my mortars. Fire the mortar. So this guy, so no one from this group can see. Should have fired that mortar too. I guess I still can. So that mortar will fire. So this game doesn't model the small. What kind of mortars did the British Commonwealth guys carry them? Were they like 2-inch or something, or 50 millimeter or something? They're a little tiny that every platoon always had. Actually, maybe even squads had. They just carried tons of them. But they don't model that in platoon command, in Blitzkrieg Commander. So I just made up some stats real quick, and I called it 2 dice at 80. So they're going to roll, and they failed. Wah, wah. These guys will fire the mortar over here at this guy hitting on 6s. They failed as well. That's fine. Okay. These guys are moving out. Boop. So when they do that, this guy will fire on them. Out in the open? Are you kidding me? Oh, you betcha. Infantry, SS will fire. Ooh, gosh, they're going to fire 6 dice. In the open, hitting on 4s. What do we think is going to happen here? Just 2 hits out of 6. There is no save, and they are suppressed. So I think I'm lucky. I got away with just 2 hits. And where are my little counters? My history counters here instead of dice. But now this guy's fired. So good thing, bad thing about Blitzkrieg Commander is once you've fired op fire, you're done. So it's kind of that whole thing of you kind of know, which in real life you're like, oh, okay, he's fired at my guys. Now everyone else can run free. I did experiment with, talking about house ruling, letting this guy continue doing op fire, but every time he did, it was another penalty to his next turn to command. Because when you op fire, you get a -1 to your command value the next turn, and you can't do initiative, right? Because it's simulating that you're busy doing stuff. But that is pretty powerful. That would mean he could just keep firing, with no up to -6 times, which seems a little powerful for that. So. All right, so 5 inches up. Now, can this guy hit him? Well, he's suppressed, so he can't. And he could hit him, and it's within range. And he would be hitting on his flank. So, let me see here. Yeah, he's hitting on his flank. So that's going to be 5 dice, hitting on 4s. Of course, he's going to hit, and he'll suppress. Now, he didn't suppress, actually. Wow. Okay. So 1 hit. And the mortars over there can't. Keep moving, so that's good. And this guy will move out. No one can fire at him. And that guy is out fired. Alrighty. The Germans do have some mortars, so if these Canadians get out here in the open, they're kind of screwed. And let's command them again. Everyone the same, so I'm at an 8, so it's 7. Let's see how far these guys are away from him. He's good. So once they get past 10 inches, there'll be a penalty. So he's going to command at 8, 7, 6. So at 6 or less. 4. And so here's where you get on that tear, which is awesome. Let's fire that mortar first. He misses. He's going to fire 5 dice on the house. Misses. Oh boy. I also wish if someone were suppressed, they could move backwards away from the nearest enemy, to kind of get into cover. Instead, these guys are out in the open. Though, I actually think that there is a provision. Now, here's a rule that they changed in 4 that I'm not sure I agree with. And I think actually this guy, so in version 4, if you're a veteran, right? So these guys are veterans. So they are regulars, but they're veterans. Oh, actually, are these guys veterans or just the SS? Well, anyway, if they were veterans, they suppress automatically when they're hit with opportunity fire, when they get an actual hit. Because they're saying that they're cautious, and so they would take more cover than like some newbie that would just keep running out there in the open. But they also let them do a dig in action, so they can kind of like hunker down. They're not really digging, obviously, but that kind of bugs me though. I feel like a veteran would be more confident about getting to where they're going. So it's a little thing I got a little bit of a question about when in version 4. Thoughts? Discuss. Or don't.
So do you know if the new version of Cold War Commander is going to be in line with the changes that they made in Blitzkrieg Commander?
I don't know that. I have not heard much about it yet, and I have not seen any copies of it. I have offered to help proof if they want. Since it's not that different, but since I've never played it, I might have a fresh set of eyes as far as, again, I would be more looking for consistency and wording, but I've not seen it yet. So no, to answer your question, I don't know.
Fair enough.
The thing that they really did is they just added lots of little kind of a lot more optional rules and things like that. But they did make little changes like that. And there were some things I'm like, and like they really beefed up reconnaissance, which I think I finally understood after reading someone's forum post. But it was quite convoluted in my mind. I didn't quite get it. But after reading it, I'd have to read it again because recon's pretty important in Blitzkrieg Commander because if you're in a building, you can't see them. And it's really hard to, you have to get within like 5 inches or 5 centimeters to see them. And it's like, it's until they fire. If they fire, then you're golden. So, so that would say these guys are suppressed. And that blows. But you know what? Trying to play the rules as written as much as I can, right? Right? Ugh.
Yep.
That changes a big time though now, but now they can be dug in. Let me look up veteran real quick and make sure that these guys are veterans. I'm not sure they are. Oh, they are. Perfect. Okay, great. Let's see. Please hold. But Pendragon generally has done a pretty good job. They're, with what they've done. COVID has definitely put them back in their progress of Cold War Commander update.
Right.
But I will definitely. The main reason I'd support them is because I think they're doing a good job with the rules. They're trying to listen to the people. And while I'm not buying their minis, I'll buy their rules as much as I can. And their minis are fantastic, by the way. And I think 10 mil would be okay Cold War. I mean, if you're getting into it fresh.
For me, if I had to do it all over again, I would start with 3 millimeters.
Sure.
Eco armor.
I think I agree with that. I mean, and I got to tell you, man, those tables with the 2 mil, whatever mil, like they're awesome looking, man. And
oh yeah.
I mean, like you would use this as forest, right? I mean, so you don't even need all these trees. Just use that. Oh, I think the tables on them look fantastic. And some of the people that paint them, please, come on. But
the 3 mil stuff. What I like about it is you literally get a company of M1s for less than $4.50.
Right.
If you go 1-to-1. Which, well, I'm the crazy bastard that would do that.
Well, yeah, I mean that would be even better you could do 1-to-1 and have this huge. That would be pretty cool. I gotta look. I gotta read this a second. So blah blah blah. So I'd say that's partial cover. I don't know how to. I guess I could get my Flames of War marker and call them dug in. So what happens is when they're hit by opportunity fire, they suppress on a 4+. Usually you suppress on the shot. You suppress on what it takes to hit you. In this case, it's a 4 because they're out in the open. So if I rolled a 4 in testing for suppression, they're suppressed. What this is saying, so they don't auto suppress. So I need to roll that and see what I got. Let me see. So he got 1 hit. So let me see if. So it's a 3. Okay, so actually he doesn't suppress, so that's good. That's cool. So it's not quite as automatic as I thought. But if they did, they can dig in, so it gives them partial cover. But the cool thing is they also re-roll 1s on close combat and shooting. So there is some good strengths there if you roll a 1. And then they fall back without being knocked out. Because if you fall back more than 10 centimeters, or in my case, more than 10 inches, you would, well, I would say 5 inches, so I'd change that. But anyway, if you fall back more than 10 inches, you're knocked out because they're just like, you're out of here. Yeah, may re-roll any firing or close assault dice at a 1. That's a big deal. That's actually. All right, so what are we getting? Any more comments on here? Appreciate you guys jumping on. Thanks for jumping on, Chris, keeping me company here.
Certainly.
Let's see. Oh, we got some other. We do have some comments. 2-inch. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. Oh, P-Bacchus, I don't know if you saw Chris's question about your email address. If you want to put it somewhere, we'll get it to Chris. You don't have to put it on here, obviously. Looking forward to Cold War Commander. Can't wait. I'm going to go full on 6mm Arabers are at the cool. That's cool. That's a thing that they're also doing. They're putting out. This has got a ton of army lists. I'm sure they'll do the same in Cold War Commander, and then they'll just release some pay and some free. And like they put out a Spanish Civil War list, but then they include some scenarios, which I thought was pretty cool. Does Pendragon have? Oh yeah, you asked that. They do. Oh, cool. Thanks, Paul, for that update. 2-inch. This is the bad thing about these chatting. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're insulting me or what's going on in Modeling for Advantage, but those are fighting words. It's a tiny range mainly used for smoke, I believe. Oh, he's talking about the mortars. Yeah, and so I could use it for smoke, actually. You're right. I guess I'm going to see what they have changed. Yeah, me too. It will be interesting to see. They learned their lessons not to change a whole lot. Another problem with the 2-inch mortar from War Games perspective is they have a tiny amount of ammo, so it's really more of a providing some extra tactical options like rifle grenades. Okay, cool. Ain't no veteran SS in Normandy, new units or rebellions. Yep, I would agree with that. That suppression rule is completely backwards. Well, Tony, wait, did you change your name in the middle of the? I think you did. Tony, yeah, I agree. It does seem backwards. I mean, I can only see it in that they are better at taking cover, and by being suppressed, you can take cover. So it makes you harder to hit out there in the open. Like I said, with these mortars, take aim at them while they want to dig in. So because those guys are suppressed, I should dig those guys in. I need to look up at the rule. I've not done that much. And Paul Becca says 3mm too tiny for me. You still on with us, Paul? You still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there. Okay. You might have talked and I just didn't hear it because I'm talking so loud.
Hey, can you say my email address on this stream?
Can I do what? Let me get to it.
I put it on, so make sure you can see it.
And what are you showing?
It should be pbeckers@yahoo.com. That's my drop email address. Doesn't matter if hack it again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you hear that, Chris? Actually, I'll type it to Chris if you didn't hear. Oh yeah, and I've got your email address. So Chris, I'll give it to you when we're done here.
All right, cool.
Chris doesn't care if hackers get him. Come on, man. He lives in the world of danger over there.
They already hacked my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you said that.
completed, I reckon, about 20 videos.
That sucks, dude. But just Pete Backus, right? Okay, so. All right, Chris, I sent you the email address in the Facebook group.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Money for Advantage on veterans. Veterans. He says the only thing we know for sure is they have been in battle before and they didn't die. The rule makes perfect sense to me. Well, the fact that you can actually hide them or give them some cover in the open is good. So that part. So I'm going to try to use that rule in here. I just need to figure out how to dig in because I haven't used that a whole lot in this rule set. All right, so where was I? These guys have moved. I need to move them. I need to get them out of here in the open. I feel very vulnerable here. Now, I could stop. Oh, wait, did these guys, why didn't these guys move last time? Can someone tell me that? Riddle me that, Batman? They were supposed to move. So they're going to move up. I think I did things out of order here, so I'll just do it the next time. I forgot to do it. I can't go back. All right, so 7, 6, 5. So on 5. 6. Crap. All right, so how do I dig in here? Because I definitely want to do that. Or they just do it automatically. They might just do it automatically here. Well, and the interesting thing is, Toady and Modeling for Advantage is at the end of the turn, any suppression you have comes off at the end of your turn. So these Germans have it. This will not come off until the end of their turn. Now, the problem is for the Canadians, they were hoping to get up here to close assault when they're suppressed. So the British suppression comes off. So they don't have it for the next turn. So that's good. But let me check out digging in here. So what happened, everybody, if you don't know, Pendraken came out with Blitzkrieg Commander 3, and it was a mess. Just a bunch of things. So and they shipped all the books out. Like a bunch of people bought them. Well, this is one reason I'm going to support them as long as I'm able, is because they basically said, all right, we screwed up. And for a year and a half, they went back, or whatever time it took. It took a long time. They went back to the playtesters and groups, and they fixed stuff and sent everybody the books. So like I had ordered 2. I got 2 books of version 4, and they basically threw away $25,000 worth of printing and come up with a new printing. And Pendraken is no Games Workshop, so I don't know what kind of money the guy has, but that's a hit no matter what. So I think that was pretty stand up. Because a lot of games have come out with tons of errata, and they just come out with sheets and sheets of errata. They did fix some things, but occasionally you'll find little remnants of that version 3 in here, like the old cutting and pasting. But for the most part, things were fixed, and I feel like they did a better job. So I'm thinking they've learned some lessons, and so I think Cold War Commander 2 will have a better rollout than 3 did. So. Now, the problem I have, I can't proof, even with World War II, I am not a good proofer for weapon stats and stuff because I don't really know that kind of stuff that well. I don't feel qualified to. I mean, I can give you some general ideas. I kind of know that, but like you were talking about your friend, Chris, you crunching numbers, that's really what you need. And they have that. But then you have to make some assumptions about armor values and what's your baseline and what's your math you're using to do it because, Okay, veteran. May take a dig-in action after any move or immediately after they are suppressed by enemy fire. So, and what's funny is I don't even know where dig-in action is. Where is that? So we'll just say they're dug in. It's free, so they just do it. And if someone tells me otherwise, I'll change it. So I will use my handy-dandy dug-in markers from our favorite game, Flames of War. So normally a dig-in would be not a free action, but here it is. So I'm going to have to look that up, see what dig-ins cost or what it takes to do normally. All right, so that's that. The initiatives come off. Let's Just finish impacting them there. The op fire for the German stays on. The one thing I do like about playing this game, Chris, is I know the rules. So there's not a whole lot of rules looking up, which is nice. Because you know me, I play a million different rules. So. Okay. And of course, I'm playing much slower than because I'm gabbing. All right. Any other comments here? He's P-Bags to sign out for lunch. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Always appreciate to hear you. Did you hang up on me? You did hang up on me. All right, we'll see you, Pete. See you, Paul. Disconnect.
Take care, Mr. Beckus. I sent you that email. Hope that's what you're looking for.
I hope all your wildest dreams come true. Smashed avocado on toast has my name all over it. Sweet. Sounds good. We let our last batch of avocados go bad. They were not yummy. Some of them. Okay. I use my avocados mainly for smoothies. Okay. Enough cooking with Todd. All right. Here we go, boys. Another thing that the way I play Blitzkrieg Commander. I would love to hear this, Chris, if you remember from your Cold War Commander days. I leave my hits on. Normally, everybody, the hits that you take that turn. So, like these British, or let's say these Canadians here that took 1 and 2 hits, they would be gone at the end of their turn.
Yeah.
I have never played that way. I always carry the hits on to the next turn. But it's always been an optional rule. So that's not a house rule, Modeling for Advantage, if you're listening. That's an optional rule that they provided me. I've always played it that way. But I do have some people, only actually a couple in all my years of playing this, that give me a pretty hard time about that. There's like, no, you got to play it that way because it's modeling, focus of fire. But did you guys play it with hits coming off? Or do you remember?
Yeah, we always did the hits come off at the end, which really didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, the guy that I didn't talk to him. This was just in a a Facebook post or who knows what post, but said, well, he thought it felt like it reflected more the concentration of fire and all that. I don't know. I just was like, it doesn't. I mean, how often, like if you are playing platoon level, you pretty much have to fire everything on one platoon to take them out in a turn.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 hits to take out a stand. I mean, that's a lot. And if they're in cover, like these guys, I'm lucky I got 5 hits in a turn. That's rare. When you're in cover and all that, usually you're getting like 1, maybe 2, and you rarely suppress. You take them off, I'm like, you would never clear a guy out of a building. I don't even know how you do that. And because you got to fire your entire company at one guy.
Yeah.
One platoon, which I guess makes sense. I don't know, but then it's like, I don't know. That's why I've always played it by keeping the hits on. Now, some guys have, again, house rules. They've come up with some clever house rules where you can like rally them off, which I'm okay with. Or you can do a roll, but you always keep down. You can never go lower than 1 hit. And if you're elite, well, you can take off more hits. And if you're green, well, it's going to be harder, right? You roll a command roll or something. I kind of like that as well. You kind of bring that rally element into it. So, but anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Initiative. German initiative. So anybody within 10 inches of them, they can fire upon. Actually, for them, it's 12 inches because they're flexible doctrine. So, but they can't because they're suppressed. They're suppressed. He can't because he took an opportunity fire, and no one's within 12, so no one can take any initiative. And now we're up. And now I think the very first thing I want to do, and they can only do this once per turn. We've got a forward observer over here that can see this lovely Canadian platoon out here, just way out here in the open. Lottie freaking da. They're going to roll to see if they can hit that. And I actually have to see how to do that because I do not use that much. So bear with me, everybody. Let's see here. And normally the template is 20 centimeters. I do not think I want to use 20 inches for my template because that is that big on the table. Although, and these are just mortars firing, but I'm going to drill that down to 10 inches. So that'll cover about the same. And I'll just center it. I guess, do I have to center on a unit or place on board? I think I can actually center it on it. So we'll center on that guy. So it's going to actually, wow. Whoo. Oh, 10 inches. That'll be 5. So he's going to cover quite a bit of people. 5 inches, 5 inches. So that's going to cover this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. This guy. What does he get?
So what type of hate are you laying down?
What's that?
What kind of hate are you laying down?
Some little bit of mortar off-board artillery, little 80 millimeter action going on.
Ah,
Normally, I'm doing it off-board because that's what the I Ain't Been Shot Mom thing says. So I did not put them on the board. In Blitzkrieg Commander, 80s are always on the board because you're playing platoon level again.
right.
But I thought at this level, they can be off-board. So, and then that way they don't count against the break point for the Germans. All right, so artillery. Please hold. As Todd looks in the book, if everyone opened their book of Blitzkrieg Commander to chapter 1, verse 6. Okay, well, first of all, let's just roll the support. He's a 7, the Ford Artillery Observer, and I rolled an 8, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's why you do that. Now I don't even have to look up the artillery rules till next turn. You guys are safe for now. Congratulations.
Now,
For now. So these guys don't have Shreks. These guys have Shreks, but they're suppressed, so they can't do jack crap. But they're facing the tanks. So this guy can't even do anything against the tanks, but he can see that unit over there. So how? And I've been letting him fire, so he gets to fire on them. He's firing at their front, so he's going to fire 6 dice though. Hitting on 5s, no saves though, because they're just in woods. First, I got to pass the command roll. He's over there. He's an 8, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and it's -1 CV, so 7. And I rolled a 12, buddy. What's a 12 mean? Command roll.
you get all kinds of bad things happen.
Command blunder. Oh, this could be. I never roll very high on there. I just roll that average usually. So 9 on the command blunder. So when you roll a 12 on your command roll, it's a blunder. In this case, it's roll 2 dice. Okay. And I got a 7. And the unit nearest the enemy takes this number of attacks from firing.
Now, is that the same as in Cold War Commander, that it doesn't matter whose unit it is? It's just, so for instance, it could be your own unit that's taking the fire?
Roll 2 dice and the unit nearest the enemy. That's a good question. From the way this reads, I'm just looking at the QRS, the quick reference sheet. I would assume it's who blundered, but let's take a look here. Let me actually crack open the book here and see, because I can see that being a problem too. When making command blunder 3, the unit must be one of those of the command unit that was attempting to order. So nope, it's this German unit. But it appears that these guys are about the same distance from an enemy. So he's 2 and whatever, and he's 2. They're almost exactly the same. So we're going to roll. Whoever's high is going to take the 7 hits. So my suppressed. That's a bummer, dude. My suppressed unit that's got 5 hits already. I wanted that guy in the building because I have to clear that building. So 7 hits. This guy's going to take. All right, let me see how that reads. And then unit nears it takes this number of attacks, not hits. So he's going to take 7 attacks against him to hit on 6s. 1 out of those 7 dice, and he saves on a 6. So he does not save. He's dead. So, wow. Okay. Got rid of the Shrek. Okay. Again, Chris, I do this the last time I played I tried to play a scenario with a rule set, and I just kind of devolved back to using Blitzkrieg Commander, and I loved it, and I'm loving this. So, who was it that said this? I think Pibaka said this. I'm sorry that he's off. He said, "Would you just marry the one you want to marry and quit playing around with all the others?
Yeah.
Quit flirting with the others and just marry who you need to marry." Yes, sir. It's probably legal somewhere. I could probably marry a rule set. So maybe Paul can do the ceremony. Maybe it's legal in Australia. Or maybe we should do it on the Rocky's room, Rocky's channel. I should marry the rules. Or maybe not. Okay, so Todd, we don't do those kind of things in Missouri. All right, so that's fantastic for the Canadians. They just wiped out a unit. There's just one unit left. Now, the one thing that they don't have is breaking, so your unit will fight down to the last man, which is, I kind of like breaking rules where your unit kind of breaks after a while because they're like, what the blank? I don't think there's really a whole lot for these guys to do. Oh, I can bring in, I have some reserves. So I have a small platoon of only 2 squads. My original thought was to bring them over here to support this building. But I wonder if I should, this guy's got 3 hits. What would you do with this reserve unit, Chris? Would you bring them over here to support this town? Because they got to clear out this town in a matter of 5 turns after they kind of do this. Or do I reinforce this one? Or do I just give this up and say, you know what, I'm going to back this one up and make it really hard for them to
You always want to support where you're successful.
All right, over here. Because they also have to move, either way, they have to move 27 inches to there. And here they only need to move like 12 inches. So they could possibly get up to this, reinforce this town in a couple turns. So let's do that. Because this guy can't do anything because they blundered. These guys don't really need to do anything, although I could maybe, I could send these Shreks out and try to take out these tanks. Ooh, boy. Ooh, baby. I won't take that chance. All right, so here we got this guy on 8, so just roll an 8. I rolled a 7, so that's good. So they're going to move on to the table over here. There's probably something I'm supposed to do with reinforcements, but I'm not going to worry about it. So they'll move up into the woods here, 5 inches. I think that's 5 inches. Yep. 5 inches, and then move into the woods. And the commander stays back, and so they'll move again. So he's going to command 7. Ooh, and I rolled a 7. And can't quite get to the building. So they're going to move and get right to the building. And then this guy will move up to here. He'll take the cover in there. And let's put the Shrek not in the building, but in here. And then I'm rolling on a 6. And they are how far? They should be 10 inches now. So they're exactly 10 inches, so they don't need to roll 11. But that's not bad. So they reinforce this side over here. Another thing I did not do is I did not move my command up. They need to be up here, actually. And actually, I'm going to put them up here. So at the end of a turn, where I'm at right now, the commanders don't move in the turns, and then they move at the end. So I'm going to move this commander up here, and I will move this commander, actually. Move up here with these boys. Facing does matter in this. I'm not going to move. The suppression comes off. The hits stay on. Suppression. That comes off. And actually, I did assign these guys a Shrek. So let's see. If I roll a 4, 5, 6, they're one of the squads with the Shrek. Oh, they're a Shrek. So they got a Shrek in this team. And they have a Shrek. And I'm worry about that later. Okay. And then, so yeah, you move all your commanders. So I need to make sure I did that up here. I might just move over here. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so there's that. So I think that's the turn. So let's move to turn 8. Is this not the most exciting game video you've ever seen? I really need to get lower cameras so that you can kind of see the action. This camera, maybe I should zoom in. So one thing I liked about your guys' table, Chris, you and Jay, is that you were using kind of a flatter earth green. Mine's a little shiny here. And I felt like I could really see your tanks. That's why I wanted to see when you get a chance next time you're over there to take a picture of the lighting and just kind of the setup, the camera and stuff, because
the lighting is real easy. It's a 2-tube bench light with, instead of fluorescent bulbs, LED bulbs directly over the table.
Well, okay. Well, I figured it was probably pretty simple. I mean, I didn't think you guys probably spent a lot of time. It's going to kind of blow out there. So I got this LED here. But to me, you get these kind of really, it's not looking too bad, but you get these hot spots. If you look on your right, on those hedges over there on your right of the screen, they're pretty bright. Yeah. Where your guys seem like you had more even lighting. Now, understand that this light is, way over there. The cool thing about it is I can kind of turn it down, but I've got to turn down like low enough that I really can't see that well. But on the camera, it looks good, but you still get that hot spot. So I'm thinking about either raising the light up a little bit, but it's not directly over the table. It's to the side.
That's the other thing. It's directly over our table.
So you can see the table, and then it's like kind of behind this little where the HVAC is.
Yeah,
I'm in the basement, right? So the ceiling's pretty short too. I mean, I'm only like 3 inches from that vent. So I've thought about. Anyway, I like your mat table. You could really see your models, and I don't know if that's why I was just curious, like where your camera was, because I feel like I could see your whole table and see the models, whereas I can't really. I mean, we got infantry here. I don't expect to see infantry, but you guys were using tanks. I feel like that tank's hard to see that, but I could really see the Stug and the Shermans, even when they were on this far side of the table. I was like, it was blurry, but still. And I guess you can tell, but I don't know. How about the camera angle on that particular table? Because you weren't straight above it; you were at an angle.
Yeah, it was. The camera itself is about 2 feet off of the table.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'm way higher than that. I'm probably 3 feet. And where are you in relation to the edge of the table? Are you like right on the edge, or are you a little further back?
So since my table is 8x5 and that play mat is slightly smaller than 4x6, I've got the table mat pulled to within about 6 inches of the far side, so it's almost not that much. It's about so the camera itself is right on the edge of the table, and the mat edge closest to the camera is about 18 inches from the edge of the table.
Okay.
So
yeah, whereas I'm right on the edge of the table, so I might want to look at it, maybe lower the camera a little bit. Now, using that Logitech software that I downloaded after talking to Matt, I can zoom in and stuff, but then what I always do is I forget I'm zoomed in. I'm on the other side of the table, and you're like, "Hey, whoa, what's going on, bro?" I'm like over here messing with stuff, and it's zoomed in over here.
Yeah,
that's classy. It's a professionally run situation. All right, everybody, here we go. Turn 8. You have any comments? Everyone sleeping? Everyone awake with us? Everyone still here?
Modeling for Advantage has that question.
In BKC 1, there was some kind of formation morale, if I recall correctly. There was some kind of breakpoint. Okay, yes. All right. No, they did not remove that. So, and I guess there is a more. All right. So there is a breakpoint. So it's based on, it's pretty much usually half of your force. So, and that's one of those things you could adjust per mission or per scenario if you wanted. So, for example, you don't count your command units or your transport units and your offboard artillery, but any fighting unit pretty much. So in the case of the Canadians, I've got 20 units. So when I have damaged 11, so just 1/2 units off the board, then I start rolling a dice, and I have to roll. So if I'm only 1 over, and my command value is, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think if my command value is 9, there's a 1-point penalty. So I have to roll 8 or less, whatever. Yeah, and then if I'm 2 over, then I have to roll 7 or less. So as it gets worse, it's going to be harder to pass that roll, and the whole army breaks. So yes, they do have it. I guess what I was saying, modeling for advantage is like, I guess formation breaking. So like if you had a platoon and you guys lost 2/3 of your platoon, to me there would be some hesitancy of the unit to keep fighting. But that's command decision. It's not in here, and I'm fine that it's not in here because I'm used to it by now. But again, that could be something you could add, for a mission if you read about a particular mission where the units were breaking more than others or something. But so they do have it for the whole army. I rarely get to that breakpoint level. I usually run out of turns first. So because usually they're like 12-turn games. So they still have it. Good question. Toadie's present. Tony, have you been? I don't remember you commenting on the channel before, so if you have, I apologize, but it's good having you. Turn 8, initiative for the Canadians. So now I'm only down to 1 tank on this side, so I think they're going to wait over here, but they will take their initiative shot there. And did I say I was halving initiative? I think I did. I did. So it's not 20 inches, it's only 10 inches. So sorry, boys. This guy, though, I could can I actually overrun the commander? I'm within 10 inches there. I could just roll over that commander. Shall we? Normally you can't attack. The only thing you can do is overrun or artillery barrage them. And so these tanks are going to overrun them. Oh, I should have moved that guy too. Shoot. So they're going to go over here. And let's see what it takes. I do not do this ever. And I wonder if you can even, in board games, you can normally not overrun in anything but the open hexes. I need to get me some British tanks that the Germans painted up for D-Day defense. Was that 9th SS or whoever did that? The R-35s and it's something I'd like to get that done. That'd be fun. What am I looking for here? Overrun. Command overrun. To overrun a command unit, move any of your units except command units into contact with the enemy command unit as a part of a move action. Your unit may not move any further until it carries out another action. Well, let's just roll both tanks over. Actually, I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if I can take him out with 1 tank. Watch. I don't remember which game I was playing. I think it might have been I Am Been Shot Mom. I played so many. Anyway, I close assaulted the guy that was suppressed, and he destroyed all the units that attacked him. So 1 squad defeated a platoon, which was cool. That's it, because, stuff like that happen, right? Not very often, and when it does, it sucks. Roll 1d6 for each assault value of your unit. The enemy command unit will count as being in the open, so you'll require a roll of 4+ to hit. The enemy can roll to save their unit as normal, succeeding on a roll. So the command units do have a save value. Infantry does not. All right, well, let's just see what the command value, close assault value of that Firefly is. It's a 3, so I'm going to roll 3 dice. Oh, boy. Hitting on 4s. I do not. Ooh, 3 hits. And the command value, they do get saves. He saved 1 of them, so he takes 2 hits. If the command unit survives, it will move 10 centimeters for each unsaved hit directly towards the table baseline. Towards the table baseline. If it exits the table as a part of this move, it is knocked out. They cannot overrun enemy unit. Okay. All right, so I just read that, and then I totally forgot what I just read here. How far is he going to run away? 10. Ooh, wow. So I've been moving all the half things. So he's going to move 10 inches away because I didn't say. So he's got 2 hits against him. And I need to roll for suppression. So I will be nice and allow them to run through the woods. Run away! And do they suppress? They do. That's a big deal too. So he won't be able to command him during this turn. That's a huge deal. Huge. But the overall commander for the Germans, where is he exactly? Oh, there, he's over there. So he's suppressed. And how many hits did he take? 2. And the command units can take up to, well, there's 6 hits as well. No. Yep, 6 hits. 4 hits. So this guy can take up to 4 hits. And he's got 2 on him and he's suppressed. Dang, dog. All right, so initiative is cool. So initiative allows you to do things like these guys could actually move because they are within 10 and you don't take op fire in that turn. So they are actually going to do that. They're going to move up. They can't do anything else, but they can move up. And then these guys are going to fire. And so they're going to roll 4 dice, hitting on 6s. Nope, and he's taking it. And 6, and he saves on a 6. Nope, and he suppresses on a 6. Nope. Okay. So initiative. He took initiative. Now, does he get to consolidate or something? I don't know. He didn't say he gets to do that, so I'll use initiative. Anyone else do anything initiative-wise? Nope. Okay. I am now going to... All right, so now it's time for the command of the British, or Canadians. I really want to get those guys out of the open. I think first I'll fire these guys over here so they can't fire on them. This needs to come off that up fire. So he's going to fire on them. So I need to command them. They have an 8. I need to roll an 8 or less to fire. Ooh, 2 1s. What does that mean, Chris? Do you remember that?
Really, really good stuff.
You get to do 2 actions. So you normally just get to fire or move or whatever else. Here you get to do 2 things, and you don't have to say what the second thing is because you didn't know you were going to get a lucky one. So I can move or shoot or whatever. But I'll probably shoot because I'm hitting on 6s. I hit on a 6, and I did not save, and he's not suppressed. So it's another hit. So I'm just going to fire again because I got to suppress those guys. That's awesome. I feel like my rolls have been pretty. Oh, another hit. Come on, buddy. Didn't save it. Suppressed. Did it. Wow, man. Okay, sweet. I am tempted to move, but I don't want to don't get cocky, kid. Where's that come from? Okay, by the way, everybody, there's also a future war commander. So if you did want to play Big Stumpy Robots or maybe an IP of something where someone says, don't get cocky, kid, you can play that as well. But it's a little harder to find those platoon level units for IP like Star Wars and stuff. I think that you can probably find them 3D printed now. You can probably find 6 mil or smaller, because I still think the Battle of Hoth at the small scale would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
Indoor or any of the, especially now that we have all the other movies out, man, there's so many battles there's a lot more stuff out there now than there was. So, but Hoth is just that cool thing that would look great in 6 mil. So.
Yeah, cool. Get it? Cool. Hoth. Cool.
Yes, it's funny. It would be freezing. I should have said that.
You know the internal temperature of a tauntaun, right?
What is it?
Lukewarm.
Womp, 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 womp. Let's see. Are the number of viewers dropping off with these?
Oh, yeah.
things? Oh, no, it's climbing. I think the word's getting out.
Like flies.
So, Tony, nope, you've just found you guys randomly. Search for live wargaming. I am. This is the place.
Well, welcome, sir.
Well, Toady, this is the place for live wargaming. It's not necessarily good, but it's live. So you didn't say good live wargaming. You just said live wargaming. You might want to look in your search next time. But I'm glad you're here. It's awesome. So I do this occasionally. There's not a whole lot of live wargaming. Oftentimes it's more recorded.
You know, it's better than dead wargaming.
True. Again, no, we did lose a viewer. Maybe Toady. He's probably like, I'm out of here. One of the Germans' divisions had repurposed French equipment captured in 40. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's what I meant. The R-35s, some was, some stuff, but mainly you saw a lot of R-35s. But I just think that'd be fun to model that. Oh, yeah, Toady, if you're still on, I agree with modeling for advantage. What are you playing? What's your poison? Chat it up there in the hoop-de-doo. So I think what I should have done with my commanders moved him over there. So I think I am going to fire with my tanks. Oh, wait, this guy's still going over here. Don't forget this guy. So he did that. So I can roll command to 7. But I want to keep firing on him, or do I want to? Oh, no, fire on this pack 40 because his suppression's gone. So, okay, 7 or 8. So you're done. Fantastic. Can you fire? I do not remember this in Blitzkrieg Commander. That's funny. Can you op fire on someone that's fired or just moved? I believe you can do it on people who have fired, which in that case I am taking. Yep, fire action. He is going to fire. That pack 40 is going to fire and op fire on that Sherman tank. So I don't have to take a command roll. I'm going to fire my pack 40 on that bad boy. 60-inch range, I'm sure. He is half. So he's going to. So when you're half the distance, you add a dice. If you're in the flank, you add another dice. So the pack 40 is rolling 4 dice. So he's rolling 5 dice, hitting on 5s. He is in cover.
All right, modeling for advantage. He's not paying attention, so I'll say take care, be well. Take care of that nurgling.
Yep. Thanks, man. Thanks, modeling for advantage. It's always great to have you on. Yes, let's get a What a Tanker game going for you probably on a Sunday sometime. It seems like that probably works best for you. So I'll talk with Chris about it and we'll make that happen. So the save on a Sherman 75 is a 5. I saved. Boom. Man, I'm rolling great for the Canadians today. Feeling pumped up. All right. Groovy. So now let's command these tank guys. I want to get these guys taken care of because I got another plan for these guys. So it's an 8. Are they 10 inches away? I really should have moved my guy. Yep, we're good. We're good. So it's an 8. So it's a 7 because I got guys in initiative. Or is anyone moving? So if I move this guy through rough, it's going to be another penalty to move. So I don't think I'm going to move him yet. And he can see 10 centimeters into it. So he can actually fire out of it. So he will fire his gun as well. So I'm commanding, I need a 7. Oh. What did I just say about rolling well for the Canadians?
Yeah, you just sucked it, didn't you?
12.
Wah, wah, wah.
Ooh, 11. To the CO of the battle group. The CO suffers a -2 to its CV. Oh, yikes. For the remainder of the current turn and next turn. Ooh. Dude.
Rough.
Not good. What the heck, bro? I gotta find it. Maybe little.
That's rough right there.
That is rough, just the way your mother likes it, Trebek. Sorry, everybody. Blunder, -1 CV next. That's a -2. That's brutal.
Yeah.
So
what are they normally?
So what do you mean? What's the blunder or what's their command value?
Yeah, what's the CV normally?
A 9, so it's a 7 now?
Not horrible, but
Yeah.
that would suck for regular Soviets, though, because I think regular Soviets start at like 8.
Yeah. Well, some of them, I mean, there's 7s out there. So that would suck even more. So he's a 2 for the next 2 turns. So I made these little chits when I first got it. Man, see if you can be able to see these or not. I don't know.
Ooh. Ah.
Whatever. Anyway, I didn't make them all like laminated or whatever like Matt did with his chits, but they've lasted me well. Well, that sucks. That totally sucks. I hate this game. It's the worst game ever.
You
Okay.
love
I love it so much. You know you want to marry it, Todd. Just quit denying your urges and marry that bad boy or bad girl. Bad rule set. Oh boy. I'm confused. Okay. All right. Let's have these guys fire on him. They'll move. I need to get him up here. Fire the mortar. So he initiative. So we're rolling on 7s. Ooh, baby! I love this game. What'd I just say? I rolled 2 1s. All right. So fire the mortar on him. I could fire smoke, but then I can't fire through it. So I'm not going to do that. So 2, hitting on 6s. I got 1 hit. Save on a 6. Nope, doesn't save. Suppress. Ah. He's got 4 hits out of 6. He'll fire. So he's going to fire 5 dice, hitting on 6s. Got 1 hit. That's all I need, baby. Save on a 6. Nope. Suppress on a 6. Nope. He's now got 5 hits. This guy will move over here. And he'll go here. That guy will fire on him. He's not having any of that. So I'm getting to roll 6 dice. They're laying out the herd with that MG34. Must have a tripod mounted. That's hitting on 5s. I got 0 hits on there. Yeah, I feel like I'm really rolling to the Canadians' advantage here. It'd be interesting if someone was tracking that because. All right, now they all get a second turn. So guess what? The mortar's firing again. Another 6, and if he doesn't save it, he's gone. Nope. Bye, as we say. We should probably stop saying that. So that's it. The Germans are out of the building there, so these guys can move in. Quick. The Canadians have achieved their first objective in turn 8. They now have to rush the heck over to there and do the same thing in that town over there. Oh, get rid of the Pac 40 would be nice. So this guy will actually turn because he didn't have to fire now, and we'll go into this woods area. Take that initiative with him. And wait. Did the mortar just do that damage to him? He did. So he gets to move in there. Sweet. All right. So now I am going to command. So I don't need to keep anybody there. So I'm going to move to get out of dodge, as it were. Now I'm rolling another command. I have to hit a 5 or less because I'm on a command value of 6. No. Yeah, command value of 6. So I need to roll 5 because I got initiative on it. And I rolled a 7. I'm okay with that. Although my mortar's going to be way back there. So now I need to move my commander. He'll move up here. Sweet. Good turn. Good job, Canadians. The building is cleared. Objective 1 is done. And I move my commander up. And here's one thing I struggle with is how to mark the stands for what units they belong to. Because I always use fixed formations. That's something else I've always done in Blitzkrieg Commander. Normally, you can just be free for all. So I could say these guys are going to be commanded by this commander, but I've always thought that's not how it works. Normally, you had a platoon or a company or whatever, and you could assign stuff to it. But I feel like it needed to be fixed formations. So do you remember how you guys played that, or?
No, that I don't remember.
Okay, so let's command these guys to going to move. These guys need to get into the orchard here. Oh, I need to move this guy too. I need to remember that. Or not. 10. Perfect. But I still have my CO. But unfortunately, what's the problem with him? He's down a value. Now I really want to dig these guys in because they're out there in the open. All right, the CO is rolling on a 7. He's trying to command units that are not there, all these other commands. So he's going to have to roll on a 6. And is anyone more than 10 inches away? That guy's more than 10 inches away. I think I'm going to leave him there. I'm not going to worry about him. No one's 10 inches away, so he's going to need a 6 to have them move. And could fire the mortar on those guys. So, yep. I hate this game.
No, you don't.
I rolled a 9. But I want to look up dig in because I might want to dig all these guys in. I want to see if it's a free action or if it's something I have to pass a command. But anyway, initiative comes off all these guys. These guys. It's like, oh, did the tanks blunder their first roll? Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't pass because I would want to command the tanks to do something too. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Okay, so that's done. So I need to move my command up. All right, we gotta get moving up here, boys. Let's put him there. That command's there. That command's there. At least leave the mortars back. The mortars have a range of 80, so they can hit the whole table. So there's no need for them to move. Does that commander want to move? I don't think so. There's that. Suppression off. Good. Take a swig. Any comments? Since I'm neglecting the people. Oh, Tony Beck left. Chair. Oh, now we got 5 people watching, dude. And who's watching? Let's see what some of the answers were to that. What don't I play? Some miniature wargaming, Flames of War, but also all kinds of strategic. Oh, sweet. All right. Well, you got them all. I guess I'm gonna have to check out Tony if you've got videos, but you left, so I don't know if you're still. If you're still on, let us know. Do you have a channel? I always like to promote like for Advantage, Pete Backus.
Well, he started going into the office. I told him, no, I'm shutting the door.
Got to shoot. Yep, Nurgling. Yep, he's got to take care of his kid. Chow. Nice to meet you, Nat. Lives in World War II here and some of my channel. If you fancy taking a look at some, yeah, please go check out Mine for Advantage. All the other channels that have been on here. Oh, you haven't left, Toady, so that's cool. So who else is on with us, man? We got 5 viewers. That's awesome.
Well, I'm one of them.
Oh, great. I'll take down my numbers.
Deal
All right, Toady.
with.
Deal with. I thought Mitty Warmont was going to jump on, but apparently he's got to spend time with his wife. That's good, though. It's important. What are we doing? German turn 8. Germans. Or as we say, Germans. Okay. So they have any initiative to do. They do not. They're not within 10 inches of anybody, or 12, actually. And so that's not going to happen. So now it's the Germans' turn to command. I do have this little lone commander over here, but he's not going to be able to move until the end of the turn. But he can't move. He's suppressed. Oh, actually, that's interesting. When does suppression come off? Does suppression come off after? Ooh. I'm going to guess it comes off after they're supposed to move. Because when you're suppressed, you can't move. The commanders move at the end of the turn. This is a rule procedural question. Sorry if you talk like that. I apologize. I shouldn't do that. Okay. Suppression fallback. Okay, 5-6. Suppression attack save hits. Was recruits just for the one day, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. Targeting terrain features. This is not helping me at all. 5-6. Did I not read that correctly? I thought it said 5-6. Testing for casualties. Suppression. Okay. Units have been damage comes in and affects the morale of the troops. Suppression also affects the ability of advance. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Okay. Never mind. That doesn't help me. Let's see. Terrain. All right. So I'm going to have to go to some sort of procedure, visibility, pregame checklist, scheduled phase, sequence of play, end. Remove outstanding hits from all the active. Not do that. Remove suppression markers. Remove all. Check to see. Test to change. Oh. I always move the command units after. So I'm actually supposed to move the command units after they're commanded. Huh. You know what's an interesting thing about this, Chris? It's good to read the rule book. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have been doing that wrong for 10 years. That's awesome. But that answers my question. So they would normally move at the end of the command phase, and the suppression comes up at the end of the phase. So it makes sense. So he will not be able to move, but the suppression will come off. All righty then. Chatterbox. All right, dude, pack 40, fire on the thing, but I have to command it. So I will roll on the 8, just roll an 8, and guess what I rolled? An 8. Whew. I will now roll, how many dice did I roll? I'm going to roll 5 dice. Hitting on 5s. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. We will command that again, but I shouldn't have been able to do that firing anyway because he had 1 minus CB because he did initiative op fire. So he rolled an 8, so he wasn't able to fire anyway on that turn, and I missed anyway. So it's all just a wash. He failed, but the commander's right next to him. So, and it's flexible doctrine, so there will not be a penalty. So I will command him later to take care of that. Let's get these units in the building here. So it's going to be an 8. I rolled a 10. Fantastic. It's going great for the Germans. He doesn't need to do anything. I think these guys just hold up in the buildings. There's nothing to do. How about these mortars? How about these boys here? 7. How about 10? Wow. Nice job, Germans. All right. Well, German's going to try to command this guy. So he's at a 9. There's a penalty for 1 because he's CB, did out fire, so an 8. I rolled a 7, so he is good to go. So he's going to roll again. 5 dice, hitting on 5s. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. 4 hits. He saves on 5s. He saved 1, so he took 3 hits. Yikes. Now I roll for suppression, and if I hit on a 5 on one of them, I get it, and I rolled a 6. So he takes 3 hits and is suppressed. That's a big deal. That's a lot of hits.
Yep.
Because he only gets 4 hits. Yikes, dude. That could wipe out my tank unit. I should probably back him up the next. I won't be able to back him up the next turn because he is now suppressed. Ooh. Guess what the Pack 40 is going to try to do?
Pop.
I got a 4. Here we go, boys. Rolling, looking for 5s. I got 3 hits.
Oof.
I need to roll 5s on all of these or it's done. Ooh, 5, 5, 6. You saved them all. That's awesome.
Got lucky.
Now the Pack 40's mad. Needs a 6 to command. He rolled a 9. He's done. It's still a pretty big deal, though. He's down to 1 hit left. So, but he's saved for another turn, but he won't be able to do anything the next turn because he's suppressed. Wow. Huge. Oh, shoot. I didn't command those guys with this guy. Anyway, those Germans are still on the buildings, but they're still okay. All right. So now move your commanders. They don't need to move. Nothing happened. This guy moves. Now suppression comes off. So we're good there. Opportunity fire comes off. That's good. Now we move to turn 9. The Canadians have 9, 10, 11, 12. They have 4 turns to get over here and clear those buildings out. Guess what I don't think is going to happen. Okay. So, all right, British. They have no pre-planned artillery. It would be nice to have some of that, but they had a pre-game stock, so they're good. As the Two Fat Lardies calls it. I said that to Molling for Advantage. I said something about pregame stonk. He goes, "What is that?" So I was like, "Yeah, I guess it's a two. It's not a Two Fat Lardies term, but it's a term they use a lot." So, all right, British. Let's make this happen. In the initiative. So no, not there. Nothing here. So that's all done. So there's no initiative moves. So now we got to get these tanks kind of out of this forest here because it's rough. So let's start with the tanks, and let's move these guys around to get this pack 40 taken care of. He's only got 2 hits. He only got 2 hits left. Maybe I should not waste my time with that. I should move the tanks along the road to go take care of that and use these infantry to do that. I'm supposed to have another infantry platoon here, but guess what? They got wiped out here in the orchards. So it's going to be hard to take that town with what I've got left here. But these guys are suppressed, so they can't shoot at them. So I think I will take the tanks around and go attack them from the flank. So command the tanks. It's an 8. I am moving these guys through rough, so I do need to take care of that. So there's going to be a 7. And those guys are going to move on the road. No advantages. So 7. 8. Dice have gone cold, sir. Infantry unit. Let's move them through the woods and goof him out of the house. So that's going to be an 8. Oh my goodness. 9.
That's no bueno.
Let's move these troops out of the open. Let's command them on an 8. 7. Oh, phew. All right, so they're moving the heck out of here. They're going to move back into the tree line here. He turns around, and as soon as he starts moving, this guy can fire on him. It's going to be on his flank, so he's going to get another shot. So he is going to get 6 shots because he gets that flank shot. Hitting on 4s in the open, no saves. Goodbye. Just 3 hits there. Do any of them suppress on 4-ups? Yes. Using the new rules, but they're suppressed anyway because it's a 4-up. I will dig him in, of course. I'll use that free action because then it makes it hit him on a 5. And how many hits did he take? 3. Yikes, dude. Yeah, I don't think these guys are gonna make it. And that guy op fired because they got to go all the way across the table. And I need transport. Where's my transport? He turns around. I'm gonna say none of those people can see him there, so he's moving right there back into the woods. Take his 1 hit with him. He'll turn around. He's gonna leave his gun to ground. He's gonna move 5 inches in here in the protection of the woods. And where is their commander? Well, their commander's way over there. He needs to get hustling over there. So I'm going to command them again to move. And so now I need a 7. I rolled a 7. Ooh. It's not often you get too many turns in a row, but you do occasionally. Let's took a tree with them. That's cool. So now they're behind a tree line, so now no one can see them. And yeah, we'll move that mortar with them. They need to go with them. That guy's stuck out here in the open. So now it's a 6 to command is a CV, but he's more than 10 inches away. So now it's going to be a 5. And I rolled a 9, so not unexpected. But what lesson did we learn there? They move at the end of their turn. So it's usually 40 inches, so it's going to be 20 instead. So, but based on movement, so he's going to move right here to the edge of the wood. And this tank, did the tank, they failed their command roll, right? And so did the infantry? I think so. I can't remember now. Does anyone remember? I think they failed their rolls. Yeah, I was failing rolls
Yes,
here.
they did.
So now the overall commander, is going to try to command these guys to do some. He's at a 7. Commanding them is a 6. These tanks are in the rough. So I think the first thing I want to do is command. This is where I'm going to do the infantry by themselves because they don't take any penalties. They're going to be at a 7. Nope, 6. Oof. I want the infantry to move. 6. Okay. Yeah, or 8. Whatever. But so that commander, so their infantry commander is going to move up at the end of the command phase up to 10. So that commander's up there. This guy is going to move up here. He will now take over that mortar. And he can't move. He can't move. You know, kitty cat. I'm going to change this guy out because I'm going to forget who my commander is. So he's here. So the Canadians had a decent turn. Not really. No, actually, they had a terrible turn. They didn't do anything that turn. They took over building the last turn, and then they're tired. They're tired. But again, I can see the narrative in that. You know, they took a building, they took the town, and now they're exhausted. It's a lot of work, man, taking a town. Suppression comes off the American tank, so that's a good thing. And he is no longer penalized, so the commander is no longer penalized with that -2, so that's a good thing. And that little dicey comes off there, as we say. The suppression comes off the guy that's gone to ground. And it is German turn 9. 9. Let's see. Any comments? I need a drink of water. Chris Arnold, who's that? Oh, I'm still here. Y'all be checking you out. Shameless plug for Rocky's War Room channel. Yep. Hey, Joy of Wargaming. What's up? Hey, yo. Yeah, so Chris and I'm sorry, I keep saying Chris, not Jay and I, were on a really cool thing earlier this week. He was on way more than I was. I had a little something come up, but Rocky did a 24-hour paint-a-con, and it turned out, I think it turned out better than we all expected. I don't know about Matt, but it was awesome.
It did, to the point where we are planning another one for March 6th.
So try to do 2 a year, maybe.
Yep. But this time it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, not in the middle of the week. So
right, yeah, that's cool, and I think we'll get even more viewers. So what happened was Rocky, Matt, and McMurray, one of the co-hosts on there, at one time we were just chatting on one of our things, and they said we should do 24-hour paint, and Matt was taking a couple weeks off work, and so that it was just going to be the two of them getting on and rambling on for 24 hours and painting. That was the plan. And then just really snowballed quickly into just people, inviting a few people to come on. I mean, besides the co-hosts. I mean, we thought the co-hosts, like not Jay and myself and Winnie Warmutt and Bob.
And yeah,
would come on anyway, but, we don't count. But suddenly people they invited a couple, they said yes, and they started getting lots of people. So they had warlord representation. Two Fat Larry's Rich Clark got on there because McMurray brought it up to him. I mean, it was just cool. Just go see Rocky's War Room channel. You'll see all the people that he talked to because he did a cool thing. He broke up all the times that most of them were on there for like an hour, maybe 2. So he broke those up into little segments. So if you're just interested in Rich Clark from Two Fat Larry's, go see his talk. And he talks a lot of cool things. And then seeing, Matt and McMurray kind of jones out about some of the cool rules coming out and that kind of stuff. So anyway, just a lot of great discussions, some good painting. James Wapple was on there, and I'm going to forget people who are on there. But
we had Lee Games. We had Jay Wiley from Wiley Games. We had Joe Sulla from Lucid Eye Productions.
Joe
Valtteri of, I don't remember the name of his company. God's Eye Studios. Yeah. Like you said, James Wapple, he was on at the end. He actually, we challenged him to see how much he could get done in 3 hours. And he painted 3 Lord of the Rings models, in my opinion, to beyond tabletop standard. I mean, there was,
dude.
and he said he wasn't done with them.
Sure. All of his models are beyond tabletop standard. That guy.
It's amazing. Check out his his YouTube, and he does live Twitch shows where he just sits and paints and talks about how he's painting and what he's painting, and he for the last 7 or 8 years he only paints in oils.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. He's pretty awesome.
It's amazing stuff, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Who else did we have? Oh, we had Thomas Foss from Skull and Crown Stratagem. He has a couple of Kickstarters, or has had a couple of Kickstarters. One for skeletons. It's called Triumph of Death. The skeletons are all based off of old late Renaissance German woodcuts that are representative of the time of the Black Death. So all the skeletons are still have like rags and flesh on them. No entrails, but very, very good looking skeletons. Check those out. He also he's done 2 Kickstarters for those. He's also done a Kickstarter for rabbits from hold on, killer rabbits, yeah. And he's in the middle of the second Kickstarter now for them. And where these come from are in the marginalia of old Catholic manuscripts, illuminated books that the monk would just be bored and start doodling these rabbits that are doing horrific things to monks and dogs, and it's just, beating them with clubs and flaying off their flesh and just being resoundingly horrible creatures, but they're so amazingly cool.
Yeah, no, so he doesn't sculpt them, right? He just kind of designs them and then sculpts them.
No, he designs them and then takes them to a friend of his who does sculpt them, and he hand sculpts. He doesn't do 3D renderings. He hand sculpts these things.
So the sculpts are very well, the skeletons look kind of, to me, it would affect the way you paint them too, but they look kind of like they're from woodcut. But I feel like the rabbits they're hand drawn because they're very flowing figures, because they're really tall, skinny rabbits. And yeah, it's pretty incredible. I am super impressed with Mr. Foss. I just love his whole thing that he does. He's very artistic, and he's referring to all these, artists. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about most of the time, and it's fantastic. I mean, and he does a lot of cool games. He's kind of taking a little bit of does a lot of flat pack stuff. So a lot of his terrain is like stage sets, because he's trying to make it look like those paintings where the perspective was always off, right? They didn't do perspective, like we do now. They just do it. You guys know what I'm talking about. The drawings are flat. So he's done some terrain like that. So you'll have a castle and it's flat with even a couple of levels here, and you can put figures on. He also does flats, not flats, but like stand-up vertical flats for like 54 millimeter or bigger, like Napoleonics and like ships.
Mm-hmm.
He does the ships. I love how he described it. It is great how he described it. He said, how people who maybe don't really know how to draw the human shape will draw it such that you can see the woman's breasts and her backside. Yeah. And it's like, no woman or person can really bend like that. But, we get what you're doing. He goes, well, they used to draw the ships like that too. Like the old, big, huge galleons and warships. You can see the back of the ship because that's was a lot of decoration. But then you'd also want to see all the guns, because that's the, that's the money shot of a ship, right? All those guns. But you also want to see the back because there's so much design there. So he does the flats so they're designed like that. It's awesome. I mean, and he does a wood game so like kids can use like, I guess, like cannons I guess, and stuff like that. He's got rules for that kind of thing. So you play on the floor, like Little Wars for H.G. Wells.
Yep.
Anyway, stuff. So, and he's a super nice guy. I mean, he played in Jay's game, the second game today, at least. I don't know if he played in others, but he played in the second game, and
Yeah.
just got a good attitude and stuff. Positive guy in the hobby. So, anyway, all that was from Rocky's War Room Paint-A-Con. So, if anything, go watch Matt's. Probably the best way to do it is watch all the interviews with the people, because you'll kind of skip out on some of the insanity from the other stuff. Although they're all good. So,
And then of course we do a live show most every Saturday.
Most, yep.
We didn't have one this week because, well, Rocky
24 hours and
is spending time with his family, and rightfully so.
yeah. So they're doing some cool stuff out there. Let's see what else we got here. Joy of Wargaming, painting Russians tonight. Appreciate the company. Hey man, we appreciate you watching. And what World War II or something else? Napoleonic or something else? Hand sculpting is better than 3D CAD. Yep, they just have more soul. I agree. I agree. All right, so I think I'm on a Canadian turn 10. I'm going to play one more turn, and then I do need to get to bed, because I do actually have to get up in the morning, which is just insanity. And I went to bed a little late this morning. So let's see if we can get these Canadians, because I think I did the German turn, right? I did, because they didn't do anything. They fired, almost killed them. That's it. I was wiping that out. And I've never been so used to a game. It's fun time. Oh, yeah. So now that guy can move the next turn. So we're in Canadian turn 10, 10, 11, 12. I have 3 turns to get across the board and take that town. Hey, anything's possible, right? And okay, Canadians, no initiative. Again, we got to get these guys out of here, and got to get those guys around, and we got to get that tank. Actually, that tank's going to back up, and I think they're going to go over here and face that side, so they're not facing the Pack 40 anymore, because that Pack 40 is proven to be bad. Tanks will get out here, flank around, troops here. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, tanks first. 7. Got a 5. They get to do it. So sweet. So, gosh, I haven't really done much tank moving here. Tanks move at probably 20, so they're going to move 10 inches. So he's close enough to the edge here, so I'm going to let him go here. He'll get here. Unfortunately, this guy's going to get to the edge and have to stop there. These guys can move. I might want to think about road movement, but I don't have a rule for that, so we're just going to move here. Oh, he doesn't get to move. He's the commander. Okay. I need to get a few successful rolls here. So it's going to be a 6, because that guy's far away. He's moving out of rough, so 6. Got it. 11. But now I know to move. What's that?
So, Toady had to cut out.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us. If you're still there, if you're still listening, yeah, and check in again. Definitely, would love to see you. Hope to see you over on Rocky's War Room also.
Yeah, definitely.
And Joy of Wargaming is he has completely lost his mind because he's doing 7 years of war in 2mm.
Good man. Good on you. Wow,
So
7 years war in 2mm.
yeah, so that's, I mean, he's basically putting green on bumps at this point.
It would be interesting to see. Joy, you do have a channel, right, Joy? If you do, tell us to confirm that, so for anyone watches afterwards. But I'd like to see your videos on that. Now, I don't know how you're going to shoot video on that, because it's going to be hard. I always had a hard time shooting on my 6. Oh, you're flipping kidding me, man. Come on. Failed another roll. All right. Anywho, as I was saying, love to see that, like how you're doing that. So please, and I'll try not to yell next time. I know that probably hurts someone's ears wearing headphones, Chris. All right, so these guys are going to move on up here. 5 inches. Let him move up here. Take his 1 hit with him. Take his 2 hits with him. Move the mortar. This guy is going to try to get out, but when he does, guess what's going to happen? He gets out on the ground, but these guys are going to fire on him to his flank. Add another roll. So 6 dice, hitting on 4s. Here we go. We know what's going to happen. I guess I should have fired with that guy and maybe. Oh, I could have smoked that guy. Oh, God. Why didn't you tell me that, man? He's dead. He's dead. He's just dead.
Hey, we did.
Bye.
The Colonel. Speaking of dead, I'm going to cut out as well, sir. Thank you for the invite.
Oh no. Okay.
But I was up early going to work and then had to come home and run a game. So,
yep, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been nice to have the company.
Yeah.
So everybody, like I said, come check out Rocky's Worm. You can see more of Not Jay there. And appreciate you coming on, man. We'll see you.
Yep.
See you later. All right.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. You're just gonna have to listen to me playing the game. I'll have to be more diligent checking the comments. All right, 7. Let's check the. I need a. How far away are they? Okay, we're good. We're good. Need a 6. I got it. Woo. Actually, I only needed a 5. I mean a 7, but I got it. So cool. So these guys are hustling up here, man. This is what I need. I need them to get across this board quick. 5, 2, 5. All right, so now it's going to be a 5 to command. I just got to keep going. The only thing I don't want to do is blunder, which I'm taking a chance at. 4. I get to go again. Nice. So now I might have a bigger penalty, though, because they're going to be further away. So now, so you can see 5 inches into the woods. I do not want to start taking fire from these guys yet. So I need to move. So I'm going to stay behind this tree line here. It's kind of my 5-inch mark. So back here, you can see 5 inches of the woods. It really means you need big woods complexes, honestly. It's there. And this guy can just move back here. Maybe what I do now is, can this up? He's turned the wrong way. Shoot. I don't think I want to do anything else there. I think I want to stop there. So now this guy is going to move 20 inches. The commanders move 20 inches. It's 40 centimeters on normal, but it's 20 inches here to get up to command. So you want to get him back up there. Normally, I like to get him. The thing is, he can move out in the open. So I can actually get him up here. All right, this tank. I should have smoked that guy. I'm going to try to smoke that flipping Pack 40 over there. Now, I could literally smoke it and just smoke it, but I want to actually hit it. So I'm going to command this guy. He's at an 8. I need to hit that tank. These guys failed over here, so I'm going to need to make sure I try to command them after that. So he's 8, so I'm going to go ahead and put him on the 7. I'm going to try firing on the Pack 40 one time, maybe one time, and then I'm going to move out of the way so that I don't die. So I need an 8. And I got an 8. Holy cow, dude. All right, so he's going to fire his 4 dice. There's a 3. I think it might be 3. Sherman, 3. Yeah, it's 3. 3 at 60. Is it under 30? I don't remember. Yes, so 4 dice. That's why I'm rolling 4s, hitting on 6s because he's in cover. Missed. All right, so here's the challenge. I need a 7 or less. Or move out of the way. I'm moving out of the way. So 7 or less. I got a 7. Holy mackerel, dude. Okay. So he's backing out. Once he backs out, he's not going to be able to get shot at because he's behind the tree line there. And so, boop. He's going to move 10 inches, and I am going to move not in those woods. I need to be careful of that Shrek. I need to check out the range on the Shrek. So he moves from there. He moves 10 inches. Boop. He's got 3 hits, not 4. These history things do move. So I have to stop there. So I'm going to try to get another command there. So I'm on a 6. Should have moved my dice. So now I'm on a 5. So a 6. Yeah, so he got it, and now I have to roll on a 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I'm trying to move into that head. So I need a 5. Oh, I got it! Holy mackerel, this is great. All right, so that first move put him to here, and then he can move up to 10 inches. I'm gonna put him over here, and now, so these guys haven't fired, so they're actually concealed. This guy has fired, so he's seen. So I'm gonna fire on him. He's concealed. You can make it go turn to turn, but that's too hard to keep track of. So this guy's seen. Now this guy's got Shreks in here, so I want to avoid that if I can. I need to check the range on the Shrek though. 6 inches. Okay, I'm good. All right, well, let's see if I can command again here. It's going to be a 4. You just don't want to blunder. 8. Okay, I am super fine with that whole activity there. So he's going to move up to here. Has to stop it. You're under the same move rules as the commander. Okay, so now I'm over here to use the commander to try to get some of these guys to do something. No penalties. So can I see these guys over here? I can't rotate this gun in this gun pit. So really I can, this commander actually needs to move next turn because these guys are coming up on he needs to move over here actually. Maybe abandon the pack 40. All right, so what can I see? I can see 5 inches in the woods. So he can't even see those guys yet, so I can't fire on that. And I'm going to say you have to be on the edge of the woods to see out of the woods, so he can't fire there either. All right, so I'm going to command the infantry to move. It's going to take he's going to be more than 10 inches away, isn't he? I'll give it to him. So he's 10, so it's going to be a 9. It's going to be an 8 because he's commanding other people. So 8 to move. Got a 3. Fantastic. All right, so then this guy, I'm going to move him around out here so he doesn't get blocked by that. So 5 inches for him goes to here. 5 inches for him goes up to here. I'm going to move him over here. This guy's going to turn around. He's actually going to face this way so he can actually see those guys over there. He's going to start laying waste on those guys, and we're going to command him again. So now I'm an 8, but it's a 7 because I'm commanding other units. 7, got a 7, fantastic. So he's going to fire the mortar at those guys in cover. I needed 6s. Nope, fine. These guys are going to move another 5 inches. I'm actually moving him towards. So now he is within range. He can actually fire on that guy. This guy's going to keep moving around the flank here. All right, let's do it again. I need a 6. I got a 4. All right, now having a nice roll of things here. The Canadian's going to roll on that guy, fire on that guy again. I should have fired him, but I did hit a 6. Let's see if I can see if he saves on a 6. He does save. That stinks, but good job. All right, so now this guy's going to move. This guy's going to fire. So I'm firing on the flank. I'm firing at half range. So I'm firing at 4, 5. And so let's make sure I'm doing that right. So normally they fire 4s. I'm at half range. 5s. I'm at flank 6. Hitting on 5s. No, I'm on 6s because he's dug in. No hits. That sucks. And what was that on? Was that on 5 or 4? Shoot, I don't remember. I think it was 5, wasn't it? Oh, that doesn't sound right. Oh boy. If someone remembers, let me know. This guy can move though. Let's see if you guys remember. Was I on a 5 or Oh, cool, dude. Well, Joy Board Game, we'll check them out. You've told me that before. I know Joy. I appreciate that. Thanks for repeating it. So I do want to see how you're painting those up. All right. Well, I'm gonna let's see. High roll. I was on a 5, so 4, 5, 6. Nope. So I was on a 4. So now I have to roll a. No, that didn't make sense. I know I didn't have to roll that. I have to roll a 3. I did not have to roll a 4. So now I have to roll a 4 or less. Just don't blunder, baby. 5. Okay, that's fine. I got a lot of movement there. So this commander needs to move up. He's moving right there. So he's within that. He's within that. The overall commander will move up as well. Yeah, they're also going to move up here. Maybe over here so it's a little closer to those guys. It's not much closer. All right, German turn. So fantastic. Any suppressions, anything like that come off? All right, so Germans. German turn. They've lost their target. That's a commander. Can I see? I can't turn here. I can't really do anything to defend myself here. Oh, you have to see on the edge of what I'm saying. You have to see on the edge. He's kind of out of luck here. So he's kind of stuck. These guys need a command to move in here. Can the headquarters spot for artillery? Can anybody spot for artillery? Do I need my forward? So I need my forward observer to really probably move. Though I can see this mortar, so maybe I should fire on that guy. Because he was firing out of there, you betcha I'm going to fire on that guy. So first of all, 7. I have not passed it. I did it. He finally got it. This is going to be brutal. So the overall company commander, I need a template. Wow, he's only hitting the mortar. Well, it'll depend on the deviation. He's only hitting 2 units, but it'll depend on the deviation. Let's see how we do that here. So he called it in successfully. Well, I'm sorry, he didn't call it in successfully. He passed his order, so he's able to actually do it. Okay. Well, yeah, let's see if what any. Oh, it's a -1 as well. Okay. Okay, so now. So I'm going to do a concentration. Finally, roll a 1d6 per 20 centimeter distance from the FAO. So spotting and all that, we're using half. So it's going to be for every 10 inches. I'm going to take 1d6. So 1, 2. It's going to be 3. So 1d6 per 20 centimeter distance per 10. 2. No, it's just going to be per 10. So 0 to 20 would be 1. So 0 to 20. So it's going to be 3d6 and the deviation die. All right, where's my directional die? There it is. So I'm rolling 3d6. So that's, let me see if I'm doing this right. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 21. Yep. So. How do I want to do the deviation of distance here? In inches, or I'll do it half. So it's 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be 5 inches on target. Oh, it doesn't even matter. He's on target. Yikes. So they're hitting these 3 guys here. So the mortar tubes. Yikes. So 3. It's going to be 12 dice for each person in there. Okay. All right, then. They get their, okay, 12 dice. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 dice. Hitting on 5s. One, two, only 3 hits. That's amazing. No saves though, and I think that's going to take that mortar out because the mortars are small, and I made them, 3 hits. So the mortar is gonzo. The British actually are getting close to their break point. This guy, 12 hits, and on 5s. 1. Man, I am not getting very many hits. 2. And so just 2 hits. That's good for him. Does he suppress? Oh, wait. I am doing, I'll do auto suppression on that. I mean, you get 12 hits and you get hit, you get auto suppression. So 2 hits. That's pretty brutal, dude. You may want to lower that next time. And then that command unit. Just 2. Dang, dude. And he gets saves. He does not save any. He's auto suppressed. So 2 hits on the commander and he's suppressed. So that's a big deal. He can now not do anything that next turn. And he got 2 hits. So that's pretty good. And he took out the mortar that was harassing that side. So I'd say this really blunts out this side. I'm going to say that's pretty much the game because there's no way they're going to take this guys out with as weak as these guys are. But we'll see how it goes. So that's good. Next German thing. Let's see if we can command those guys in here, for Pete's sake. Oh, my goodness, they blundered. So these guys have been stuck out here in the orchards, not able to take these buildings or that foxhole. They've now blundered. And they rolled a 10 on the blunder. So we're getting different blunders. All units under command make 1 full move directly towards their own table baseline. Fantastic. So the reserves move back this way. And that's fantastic. I need to make sure I move all the commands. So at the end of the command, he'll, you know what? Does it say command has to or all units under command? Well, they get to move wherever they want at the end. So he would just stay there because they want to take those buildings. Well, they blundered, so they can't be commanded. He doesn't need to do anything. All right, so I mean, if I can move these guys, but if I do, I'm going to take them out of the gun pit. So I could command to do that, but I still get shots over here if those tanks come up there. But and I'll also get shots this way if these tanks come around this way. So I'm going to stay in that pit. This guy is going to move, though. He's actually going to move out in the open and go to that other side. He needs to go command his boys over here, so 20 inches. So he's actually going to make it into these woods over here. So he's good to go. And this commander here, though, he's going to move to the edge over here. And I'll put that out there so I remember he's there. And I think that's it for the Germans. I'm going to turn them that way. I mean, I don't need to put them in the building. Well, I do if they're not going to get any artillery, so they're good. But they could get overrun. So I need to find out if anybody else can command. Oh, the FAO, he can move. He should have moved after his turn. So he probably moved 10. I'm going to move him up here. Okay. Dang. Beautiful. I think that's it for the Germans. Any Germans suppressed? Nope. All right, guys, everybody, thanks so much for coming on, everybody. I'm going to call tonight. I'm going to do a little quick video shoot of this, post it up. I had a great time. I appreciate you guys all coming on. Joy, I'm going to go check out, see what's going on. Oh, what's up, Grayson? Bye, Grayson. I'm just closing out here. It's time for me to go to bed. I got to get up in 6 hours, 7 hours. All right, so that's it, everybody. I'm going to go through here. Grayson, thanks for coming on. Joy of Wargaming. Go check him out. Tony Beck, I don't know if he has a channel, but he's on here for a while. See if he has a channel. Chris Arnold, thanks. From Rocky's War Room, so go check out Rocky's War Room. Modeling for Advantage, an amazing channel. Go check him out. P. Backus, great stuff. He's got a history. Go check him out. Tony Beck again. Chris Arnold. Someone else came on. Tony's Board Life. Go check out his channel. He's amazing. He does board games, board wargaming, but that's cool. I do that as well. That's why he follows me. And I felt like there was one other one that came on here, but I'm not seeing it. So go check out all their amazing channels. I appreciate everyone hopping on, and you guys are all, again, awesome. I appreciate all the views, comments, thumbs up. Hey, well, I guess under Greg Grayson, you didn't miss it. You can go back and watch it, but it is a little bit more fun. Not very many people watch these live things after the fact. But no, I appreciate that. It's fun doing it. I do want to improve the way that I get the camera shots and stuff. So maybe I can take you down the action. Like as I'm viewing into the picture here, it's not bad. You can kind of see what's happening. And you can see the dice. You can see how the game's played. So, which is one reason I do it. All right. Well, that's that. You all be awesome. Get your sleep, wake up, start your day, whatever you're doing. And Grayson and all the rest, whoever else is on with me, probably Joy of Wargaming. We'll check y'all later. Have a great day or night, whatever.